The last time we went to Daytona International Speedway with the Integrity Ignite Series, it was won by Michael Stroll, but that race was not a points-paying event. So now we are here to see whether these drivers are able to pay off when it comes to their efforts and see who comes on top in this 250-mile event. It is the Big Evil Designs Daytona 250, the season opener here in the Integrity Ignite Series, and everything is on the line for what will be the longest superspeedway event of the season. And Michael Stroll already on his way in his first time lap here in qualifying. Brandon Wenger in a similar spot right now. His drivers already on to their timed and scored portions of qualifying. Brandon Bernhardt on his way, Thomas Bressie, Casey Shue in the FORL machine, Adam Wood. But it looks like right now, top of the board, it is Brandon Wenger. Everyone took the high line on their first line. Of course, their first lap as well. Now, it's time to get those competitive laps in and drop to the inside line and see who's the perfect arc. Lap in, lap out. But now, it's only for one lap, so if you have it for those 4 turns, you'll be good to go, and maybe you'll get a shot on the pole position here. Justin Rowden coming across the line. He looks to be the fastest in his out lap, and he is faster than Brandon Wenger by about a 10th and a half. Right now, Rowden entering the back straightaways exit, and of course, entering himself into turn 3. Brandon Wenger on his way, coming down to the start-finish line. Chad Michaels is on his way as well, and William Logan, Boomer Logan, on the move at the same time. Rob Ackley in 7th right now as he comes down to the line, uses the apron, tries to make something happen there, and Ackley takes it all the way down and is going to try to make himself home in the top 10. Ackley gets himself into first. Michael Stroll beats him by 12,000ths of a second, and it looks like Chad going to slot in the 3rd position. Tyler Hensley now top of the board in the 5 Exalta machine, and Boomer Logan slots into 6th with Blake Gordon now in the 7th position, and Brad Patton in position number 6. He's going to be in a dead heat there as Timothy Johnston goes to the top of the board in the 82 machine, position number 1 by 28,000ths of a second for the driver of the 82 machine. Not bad there. Cody Griffin looks to be in the 6th spot on the board, and he's going to back it down. Tyler Hensley, 28,000ths back on pole. Cody Smith gets up to 4th. Alan Dobbs makes his way up into the 2nd spot, and the gap is only 12,000ths. Nobody able to beat Timothy Johnston. So far, he is still cruising at the back straightaway now. He's going to let off the throttle, and I think he is done with qualifying. Justin Morton done and done. Let's get some guys who are not already concluded. Looks like Jacob Fife going to be one of them. Fife in the 36 machine, coming down to the stripe as his paint scheme loads for the first time here. Cal Filarski in a similar spot in the 33rd position right now, and it looks like Alec Daffin gets to the 34th. Fife down in position number 37 as he comes down the line, not going to use the apron there, and as he comes to the start finish for Jacob Fife, it looks like he'll be starting further on to the back than we thought. He's going to be position number 30 at the very best. Let's see if someone is able to overtake him. Chad Cole on his way for the first time here. Gail Brooks, similar position to the 71 machine. And Don Arunco Jr. in the 00 there as well. Ethan Lane, Zach Edwards, and Kevin Matz have not made it on to the Daytona International Speedway's track for qualifying. As it stands, a total of 42 drivers have at least made it onto the track for qualifying out of the 45 entered in tonight's event. It looks like the 69, the 71, and the 00 are the biggest surprises they get anything done, as they will be the final 3 drivers rolling onto the scene here, hoping to get something done in their favor. As right now, Timothy Johnston in the 82 machine is pole by 12,000ths of a second. An unbelievable margin and an unbelievably great job from the driver of that 82 for Dizzy Motorsports. How about we get some feedback from the driver of that 82 machine? Is right now he is top of the board, so let's bring him in right now and see how he is feeling. It is Timothy Johnston in the 82, and right now he is fastest at Daytona, and he's going to be on the move as the race begins in just a few minutes time. Pole position, and it looks like you might have the pole locked up as is for the first race of the season. How do you feel, Timothy Johnston?
Definitely feeling pretty good. Really kind of surprised at that lap. Didn't really feel all that great, but I guess it was. So hopefully we can stay up front all race since we qualified on the pole, and we'll just have to see what happens because it's Daytona.
And certainly Daytona, always an action-packed track, and we have 100 laps to settle this one, so a lot of time to get yourself accustomed to the way these cars drive, the Xfinity cars at Daytona, and a lot of guys here new to the Integrity Racing League, some returning veterans here. So in your position, first in an uncertain setting, of course the Clash, same track, same car, much shorter. How will it be managing the draft, managing the pack, and managing aggression, most of all, as this race gets underway?
It's definitely going to be difficult to manage all of them. These cars move around an awful lot in the draft, so it's definitely going to be an interesting race. Hopefully, we'll take it easy and just kind of ride it out for the first half to three quarters, and then go for it at the end.
And absolutely, looks like that's going to be a strategy to beat here. And it looks like we will have fuel strategy and tire strategy if this race gets down all the way to the end. So you had about an hour of practice. All the drivers did have about an hour of practice in this session. So how do you feel about the car when it comes to all the minute adjustments and strategy, and how will that impact the racing as well?
That'll definitely be pretty interesting. It looks like it's going to be a two-stop race, so it'll be interesting to see if guys work the race backwards on how it's all going to kind of play out. Obviously, tires don't mean a whole lot at Daytona, so I don't think you'll see anybody changing forward with the way the fuel is. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how all the different strategies play out.
And absolutely a lot of options for strategies as the race goes on, and tires don't mean all too much at super speedways. We heard some drivers saying it gets a little loose here, but we have heard some guys who don't feel it at all. So any final thoughts? 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining before we get this thing underway, get the season underway, and see what you can put together as posted for the first event of the year.
I just want to say thanks to all the guys at Integrity for putting us on, and thanks to you guys for putting on what's going to be a great broadcast this season, and good luck to everybody out there. And like I said, hopefully we can put on a good show for everybody who's tuning in.
And absolutely looking for a great show, and it looks like you will be the front runner to kick it off here. It's going to be the 82 machine of Timothy Johnston. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We're going to drag him right back into his voice chat there, and there it is. And it looks like qualifying is just about set in stone. Kevin Matz will be the final driver to get on his way and get a qualifying lap in. But how about we show you your starting grid with the exemption, of course, of the 50 machine right now. But it looks like the 50 will only be able to get about one lap in on qualifying. And here you have it as we get it uninterrupted. The bottom ticker going to go away. If you do enjoy the action, of course, we're going to get to the action in just a few moments. Be sure to like and subscribe. Always greatly appreciating the support as it helps us continue to go week after week. Matt's on his way right now, but it looks like it will be the driver of the number 82 machine, Timothy Johnston, top of the board, but that is the wrong sector that we want to pull up. It will still be Johnston with a 50.322 in the first position, and Alan Dobbs in the second spot with a 50.334. Then DJ Stagner in third as Kevin Matz puts it into the 42nd, and Justin Morton in fourth, a 4,000th of a second deficit between third and fourth. Then Tyler Hensley in fifth, Michael Stroll in sixth, and rounding out the fourth row, it's going to be Cody Smith and Matthew Thunhorst. Joe Dinsmore 9th, Rob Ackley in 10th, Thomas Bresci in 11th, and Chad Michaels in 12th. Cody Griffin 13th, Justin Anderson 14th, and Nicholas Cohan 15th, and Don Stevenson in 16th, with Adam Wood 17th, and Hayden Pastorius in position number 18. Chris DeWeese and Michael Dewell coming into the chat room there. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed tonight's event. It's going to be Brett Patton 19th, William Logan, Boomer Logan in 20th, and Daniel Foss in position number 21. Then it's going to be Brandon DeWeese and Nick Tarabuch, Blake Gordon, Casey Shue, Kyle Cooper, Jonathan Girvon, and Justin Rowland to round out the top 30 alongside Gale Brooks and Forrest Smith. And apologies there. From there on out, it is Don Runkle 31st, Jane Ewing in 32nd, and Trevor Drago in 33rd, with Jacob Fife in 34th. From there on out as well, Kevin Matz in 35th, Carl Henderson 36th, Chad Cole 37th, Brandon Bernhardt in 38th, Brandon Wencher 39th, and Cal Filarski in 40th, with Alec Daff in 41st, Kevin McGarvey in 42nd, Justin Carey, the final driver on time, a 43rd position start, and Ethan Lane, the first driver on iRating, and finally, Zach Edwards, riding shotgun in a 45-car field, and we can't wait to get this one on board. And as we switch this show back onto the starting grid for the first time tonight, 100 laps to get this one started, and we can't wait. Well, it looks like right now, no drivers on the starting grid. That might be on our end. As it is showing only 3 drivers on this segment of the track. We're going to try to find out what's going on, because it looks like there is a session error and truly unsure of what's going on here, because it appears something is wrong and these guys are not being loaded in. Let's see if it's iRacing. Give us just a moment here as we try to make sure that this thing is going straight. Although it does look like something might be wrong. We only see 2 drivers on the grid here. We are not sure why that is the case. Pace car is on the track, and it looks like we have a consolation feature going, and that is not right at all. I'm going to see, it looks like it's going to be 2 drivers fighting for 1 spot. Our apologies, we have the race information going on here, but it looks like it will be a 2-car battle for the final spot of this race, and that we were not aware of at all. And either way, maybe we can get some few drivers' thoughts here as we have a bit of a break in the action that we are not aware of. And this battle is between Ethan Lane and Zach Edwards for the final spot in this race, if of course they don't skip the session. At the moment, they have yet to do just that, and the pace car is on its way, and it is alone right now. So I'm not sure what's going on. Michael Stroll in the voice chat, what's going on?
Hey guys, I want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in. My first time doing the heats and stuff like that. I was told I cannot advance the session in this heat. So I hope it's not a detriment to your broadcast. It's going to be a couple minutes here before we grid, because no one took the grid for the heat. So it's not letting me advance it unless someone could tell me how to do that. But I don't think I can. So we're going to take a little sit down here, get ready before the big show.
And absolutely got a little bit of time to go. We're watching the pace car going on its own right now. Now, this is going for my own expertise as an admin. Is it possible to... Oh, he actually left us. So it's not even going to be something we can do. We have a bit of a break in the action here, and we are waiting. We are watching the pace car take a lap on its own. And we've got extra time here. The pace car is the only driver on the track, and it looks like Ethan Lane nor Zach Edwards are showing up to this 3-lap consolation race. And Doug Middendorf coming to the chat as well. Happy to be here, and good luck to number 15 of Braxton Deweese. Let's have a great race, fellas. And also, Mike Duell said, good luck to all the league members tuning in for the action tonight. Chris Deweese coming to the chat saying, good evening, everyone. BDR is happy to be in this league and hoping for a good season. Hopefully a good race tonight. Let's go number 15. And J06 saying this should be a good race, and should be a good race indeed. However, right now, we're watching the pace car go on its own, and this is not something we were expecting. However, 3-lap consolation,
green flag.
And the green flag is out. And no drivers on the track still, so not sure what that's going to mean. Because we still don't have a race going on right now. The pace car is going to come right back in at pit road. And I don't know how long this is going to be held up. So as it stands, we have quite a bit of time before we find out what's going on here. If the pace car comes down and it is alone, nobody has started this race. I think we have a few minutes. And we will try to get another interview in. Because surely, this is something we did not expect. And it looks like Ethan Lane has just joined the party here. And Lane is gridded up, and he missed the start, but he's going to get a penalty for that, and then he'll be on his way. And I think he can lock up the spot from there. So there we have it. Ethan Lane on his way, and he is going to clinch that spot. A 3-lap single-car run, and he will make his way onto the front of the grid. I think it's over. Ethan Lane has just pitted it once again. And he has already locked it up. But now he's back on pit road, and we have a bit of time, so we're going to get an interview from the driver in the second position here, as we are absolutely a bit more confused than we should be here. Our apologies on our end. We're not really aware of what was going on. Alan Dobbs is second on the board here. However, Dobbs is currently muted, and we're going to try to see if we can get a chat from him. And clearly, Rallo coming running this show, and I'm pretty sure that's an inside message here, as we are going to get the 05 machine. Alan Dobbs second on the board. And it looks like we're not having a race right now. If you do have a copy, how are you feeling? And looking to get a copy once again, Alan Dobbs, the 05 machine. How are you doing so far? Because it looks like you're going to be starting second in the main event as we wait for it to get started.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good right now. We have a bit of a break here, a consolation race that turns out to be a pit road stall fest. But as it is, still a lot of time before we get it started. Maybe a little more than we expected. And either way, you will be looking good starting in second. So how do you feel going into this one?
Well, I had a pretty good starting position last week, and we got wrecked on lap 4. So I'm going to be watching, and if people aren't trying to get single filed out and kind of just ride for a while, I'm probably just going to go to the back and see if I can't survive.
And it looks like a lot of guys with a lot of different strategies. So what will it mean to be less aggressive earlier on and come into it later in the picture? Because it seems like that is when, of course, you come to get the victory. Later on, not about where you start, it is about where you finish.
Yeah, they say you can't win it on lap 1, right? But you can definitely lose it anywhere in between. So it's really just about getting your car to the last lap on the lead lap, and then you have a chance because you never know what's going to happen here.
And certainly an unpredictable track. Daytona is 100 laps, much longer than the Clash. So how will be extending your stay with these drivers, pushing to the limit and finding help? And how's it going to be finding help? Are you just going to take it where you can find it, or is it all about having specific people with you?
Yeah, I don't really have any true teammates here, so there's a few people that don't have a team that hopefully we can get linked up and work together some. But otherwise, it's just going to be trying to make some friends, show people that you can be trusted, and they'll want to help you. If you're out there swerving around and doing crazy stuff, you're not going to get pushed.
And absolutely, Daytona, a game of trust. Now, when it comes to strategy, a lot of guys have to trust each other for that, too. You don't want to be caught out going into pit road on your own, especially under the green flag. So what will it mean to have strategy in your favor?
Yeah, that's one thing that I am worried about, because if people aren't coming over the radio to let people know when they're pitting, it's going to be difficult to pit with enough people. But hopefully there's enough of us working together, or maybe everybody just kind of tries to run it out, because I think we're at 70% fuel in this league, and we'll probably have to pit 3 times at least, I would imagine. So if we go green, it could definitely get really crazy.
And certainly a lot of excitement to behold here at Daytona. Now, it looks like we'll be getting started any minute now, waiting for this consolation to conclude. And from there on out, we get to the show. So any final thoughts before we get to it?
No, just shout out to my sponsors, Elite Performance Industries and Nightfall Graphics. Appreciate those guys. And hope everybody has a good race. Hope we keep it clean, and we're all there for the finish, so it can be a good one.
Absolutely. Outside front row for the first race of the season, it is Alan Dobbs in the 05 machine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, buddy.
And dragging him right back into his voice chat, the third driver on this starting grid. We're going to try to get a word from him right now, because it looks like we still have some time to fill. It is the driver of DJ Stagner, position number 3, to start this one off. And let's see if we can get a word from the driver, who will be on the second row. Although it looks like right now we will not be able to do just that. Waiting for this race to get on its way. Lightning within 5 for Buffett, gonna say. And it looks like we are on a bit of a lightning clock, but the checkered flag is out. So it looks like now we can get this thing started. Ethan Lane, technically, I think wins that qualifying spot, although I don't believe that is the case. Lane over Edwards, but neither raced in the little consolation that we had. That's a little confusing. We'll see if either of which will be on the starting grid for tonight's main event, 100-lap showdown here at the Daytona International Speedway, and we are incredibly excited. The starting grid already geared up for the first race of the year, and so many to follow, but we hope tonight is a great one, as it is Johnston, Dobbs, Stagner, and Justin Morton, your fastest 4 at the moment. We still have a potential to have a lot of yellows, a lot of green flag racing. This race could go either way, and it could be exciting no matter how you slice it. And we're certainly excited to get this season on a roll. The pace car is going to be going off in just a moment, and we will get this thing started. And it's going to be a great one to follow as Timothy Johnston leads him through for the first time this season. And the pressure of starting up front at Daytona is almost like the pressure in the back. I'd actually think Daytona is one of those tracks where the pressure could be very, very similar no matter where you start. One of the cathedrals of speed. It is one of the fastest circuits, not only in North America, but in the world. Speeds of almost 190 miles an hour these Xfinity cars can reach. They might be a bit slower than the Cup counterparts, but either way, with stricter plate and all, these machines are fast. And there's no reason to deny that these guys have the ability to wheel them. Of the, I believe now, 45 entries, only 3 of these drivers do not have an A-class iRacing license, and that doesn't mean all too much. Their I ratings are very, very high. Some of these guys in the range of 6,000 I rating. That's very high. That's almost competitive level when it comes to the pro scene. And Nightfall coming to the chat, JO6 once again, and we are gearing up Drop your picks in the comment section below. Alan Dobbs already has a prediction on his favor. Place your bets and take your chances here. Anyone has a shot in a 100-lap shootout at Daytona. You just have to be there at the end to make it all worthwhile. And it is Johnston who will lead them through for the first time this season. We have a bracket as well to fight for. I believe it's actually going to be a charter being fought for in this bracket. It's going to start in the first few races of the season. And Johnston now in top position, as well as Alan Dobbs, to make it happen and advance through for the first round of this 32-car bracket on each side. It's going to be 32 drivers broken into 8 groups of 4 to start this one. And the highest 2 finishing drivers from each bracket will make it through to continue fighting for a charter as we get this season underway. Sim racing done right since 2012 for the Integrity Racing League, and year 11 gonna start off with a bang. This is the Big Evil Designs Daytona 250, and Timothy Johnston leads us to the lead. Let's go racing at the World Center of Racing, and Stagner right behind him. And his engines roar at the start of the Great American Race. Timothy Johnston gets a great start so far. The outside line getting a bit disheveled. And the backstretch anyway going to come around roaring. Dobbs and the outside line crew not having a great start. The back of the pack also getting a bit disheveled here. But it looks like we have a total of about 43 drivers on the field right now. Justin Carey, the last of which here on the track. It looks like the Shaw Racing Machine of Alec Davin already has a bit of damage. And 42 drivers with a clean car so far. As we go back to the front of the field, the 57 there, but Timothy Johnston still leads him through. As Dobbs now getting a run side by side. Who will lead the first lap of the season? It's Johnston low, and nobody going to come right beside him. It looks like the 82 on the way, and he's going to lead lap number 1. 3 wide there, Michael Stroll is with the driver of the 9 machine, and Justin Morgan going to back off of Tyler Hensley and Stroll at the same time. And so far, everyone playing it calm and being very, very collective. It looks like these guys able to hold on strong. Nobody pushing their boundaries just yet. And it's great to see conservative racing here at Daytona. Aggression, of course, a very notable aspect of Daytona at the tail end. Sometimes you don't want to be aggressive too early. It will lose a lot of trust, lose some respect even, if it's a really bad incident that comes out of it. And right now, with so much time remaining, hundreds upon hundreds of miles, you really don't want to ruin anyone else's race so early. No fast repairs here. It's do or die, but at the same time, you have to think about when you do and think about when it is valid to kill a car off. And right now, everyone laying back, holding on to what they have, 70% fuel here. These guys certainly will have to pit. As Johnston with Dobbs still side by side, TJ Stagner side by side with the number 38 machine. Morton there with Hensley, and they are all double file every row back. It looks like we're going to go through the field. See the thick of it is right now they are all double file or single file. As we go even a little bit further back, Trevor Trago there single file, and it looks like a lot of these guys are just holding on by the skin of their teeth there, keeping it in the back of the field, holding on just barely to make sure that they still have just a bit of draft as the race gets on its way. Alec Dobbs with Timothy Johnston still, and these guys up front are able to hold it up front. As coming down the stripe once again, we are already on to lap number 4. No yellow, there's still double file. Nobody's taking the 3 just yet. And it's all about holding intact, holding one line. At 4 in, it's still 2 by 2 for the race lead. And now Michael Stroll is with Alan Dobbs, the outside line, able to make a move, able to have the momentum to keep themselves up in the front of the pack. Double file, Camaro on Camaro in the front row, and we have only 1 Supra in the Fast 4. It's 3 Chevys up there, and then it is going to be a Supra, and it looks like the leading Mustang will be 8 machine of Matthew Dunhorst, the DMG United, number 8 machine, uniting himself with a sea of bow ties and 1 Toyota to boot up front in this pack. And Michael Stroll, the winner of the Clash last week, well, he was only able to lead 1 lap that entire race, and that lap was the final. But right now, he's going to be able to lead when his Alan Dobbs is going to go into the grass there. He's going to be able to save it and keep himself in the pack. A very impressive save, as a matter of fact. And he's going to fall down just a bit when it comes down to timing and scoring. He is losing a lot of time very, very quick. We're almost incapable of keeping up with how fast he's falling down. But he's still in the middle of it, and he might be able to string himself back into the draft, as there is still a pack all the way in the back here. And we're going to send it back to about a half-minute replay and try to find out what happened to Dobbs there and take a closer look. He just got a bit squirrely, and that's certainly not going to help him. Let's take a different look at it. Driver of the 05 machine started second in this event here. And we're going to find out just what happened to the driver in position number 2. We will take that quick look in just a moment's time. It is the driver, of course, of the 05 machine. We're not able to get that instant replay. Here we go. He's already down on the apron by this point. You can see he takes a lot of time to waddle it back up onto the racing surface. And he just gets a bit squirrely here. He hits the apron. Oh, but it's netcode. Definitely going to be netcode. As he gets right there with an iMachine. And I don't believe they made any physical contact. If we go back to the point of contact there, you can see that point of contact was not really a physical bump. It looked like netcode. And as we wind it back just a bit more, you're going to see it again. We're going to bring it back in a very, very slow motion and try to show you once again that does not appear to be real contact. Instead, it appears to be netcode as Morton goes down the inside line, and they might have touched on his end, but it doesn't look like anything real, as Dobbs going to lose an awful lot of time as a result, as he's right now with a backup pack. As we look at Justin Anderson, the remainder of the field. Now Justin Morton, as a matter of fact, is the leader, and Michael Stroll leads that inside line. And Morton not choosing to clear the inside just yet, as he is there with the 8 machine. It's the 9-8 and the 22 up front on the outside line, and the inside is the 38 and the 82. And right behind him, it is DJ Stagner in the 64. 7 laps in, a lot of patient racing so far. And these guys are able to hold their line and hold their energy, making sure they come in at the right moments and making sure they lay off of the pedal. Because while being very quick at this track and being very aggressive can make you a great driver, a great sort of sensor of the moves that have to be made and make yourself above the curve, ahead of the curve as well, you also want to make sure you lie back at the right moments, take your time, because this is a delicate process racing at a super speedway. And these guys seem to know right now Michael Stroll is in front of the inside line. Right now, Justin Morton leads the way. Let's ride on board with the 9 machine. And riding with that 9, you can see so many drivers, the inside and the outside here. And the 9 machine having hold on, managing all of these views. Of course, up front, it is clean air, clean skies. And there's an iRacing blink in the background, but so much more in the background. A sea of almost 43 cars behind him. Michael Stroll right beside him there. He has to focus on the guys beside him if he wants to get a sidetrack or even clear them. Guys behind him to make sure he gets pushed at the right angle. You don't want to get pushed on that corner panel. You will be donezo if that happens to you. And Justin Morton still leading the show here. Michael Stroll is now out front. He's going to go 3 for the lead there. Big time aggression. And Stroll might have been shot out of a cannon there because Timothy Johnston, your pole sitter, goes back to the point. As Stroll in the right, 3 wide. We're going to lose a lot of speed and a lot of time. They are now going to be falling back. The 9 of 8 going to be hung out, and now it is top 4 inside line. And the leaderboard, it apparently is only showing the top 5 times, and that is not how it should be. And our apologies there. We're going to reload it to make sure that is not the case, because we are able to show up to 43 drivers and then some when it comes to the time. So thank you for the little bit of a catch there. Sometimes iRacing doesn't like to refresh the information, and that's just a thing that happens. So thank you once again, Chris DeWeese, for watching and making sure that that is not going to happen. Here we go. The ticker should show everything now. And we're going to scroll through the remainder of the field as Johnston still leads the way. And the top 10 now on your screen, and the entirety of the field represented in their own unique colors and numbers. Every driver's got a great identity here, and they are here to cut their teeth. Because this is the Integrity Ignite Series, and we are here to light that fire. And thank you as well, Chris DeWeese. Means the world to have the support. Timothy Johnston still leading the way with DJ Stagner in 2nd, Tyler Hensley in 3rd, Michael Stroll in 4th, and now Rob Ackley in the 5th position, 10 laps in out of 100. Chad Michaels there. Now he's going to be in the double file line. DJ Stagner on the inside of him. And the 25 machine in the Mountain Dew sponsorship now has the 24 right behind him. And Thomas Bresci, haven't we talked about him for a moment? He did real well, and he had an amazing save at the Clash last week. Was able to come home in the 3rd position after an incredible 3-wide save. Nobody wrecked as a result. That thing was about 45 degrees sideways. But almost more importantly and more impressively now, Thomas Bresci, we got an onboard camera from him, and here's how he is going to look. We're going to get a camera on your screen right now because it is real impressive. The software being put together, the VR camera for the driver of the number 24 machine there, and there is the look from the interior of that 24. Thomas Bresci, that's his point of view here, and he's in the middle of the pack right now. He's in 8th position. You can see him on your screen for that 24. That is exactly what he is seeing inside his Exalta Chevy Camaro, and what a ride it is. Virtual reality, so he is in fact seeing it as if he's inside the car. That is incredible. Virtual reality with iRacing is almost as realistic as it gets in being inside the car. I've had the pleasure of trying it out myself, and with one of these NASCAR stock cars, you are fully immersed in the sound, in the sight. It's almost like you're there, and it's an incredible feeling for Thomas Bressi, and we're very thankful to have his perspective from it there, and that's a quick look at Bressi. We'll try to get more as the race goes on and get some VR camera perspective later on into the action. That's a quick taste of the onboard brought to you by the 24 machine Thomas Bressi, and we hope to have more drivers as the season goes on. Now back to the live feed in just a quick moment. It's still led by Timothy Johnston in the number 82 machine. As we head back to the show here, it's going to be Michael Stroll in second, DJ Stagner in third, Rob Ackley in fourth, and Tyler Hensley in position number 5. Now Stroll in the front of the field again, 12 laps in out of 100. And these guys are still laying back. No wreck just yet. We saw a lot more wrecks in the Clash, but while it does come down to, of course, the Clash not being a point-paying event, it could also come down to this. That was the first time all year long these guys have raced against one another. Some of these guys don't step into the simulator unless they're doing league racing, and that's going to be a reason for some of our schedule changes compared to official races, and we'll get onto that more into the season. Daytona, of course, anyone can be quick, but right now, it looks like Michael Stroll, one of those guys who's acclimated with the group he is racing with. Tuesday night does indeed kick off on the 21st. However, tomorrow we will have an exhibitional event. It's going to be Ignite and Octane drivers allowed to compete. Integrity Racing League is 2 series on 2 different nights. And right now, Michael Stroll leading the Ignite group. Down to the stripe once more, Johnston in the 82 machine right there on the outside line. And I do not believe Scheffler is in this race. Looking down through the timing and scoring, he does not appear to be. However, we might be wrong about that. We are going to take a look. Here's Scheffler. We're going to be looking for him right now as we are going through timing and scoring, trying to get a read on the driver of, I believe, in the other series, in the Octane series, the 24, although right now we do not have a great look at Scheffler. Michael Stroll up front there, DJ Stagner, Chad Michaels, Tyler Hensley, Thomas Bressi, and Daniel Foss. And Joe Dinsmore in 11th. Hayden Pastorius in position number 12. Brendan DeWeese right now, actually Braxton DeWeese, our apologies, is in the 14th spot as number 15 machine. And everyone here still laying back. If you are in the middle of the field, it looks like you just got to hold on right now, as I do not believe he's in the race. No, he's not. He's on the roster. As Jay said, he's just not here tonight. He won't be racing for this week's event. Of course, as always, next week in the remainder of the season, as right now, top 2 still double file. Let's go to the middle of the field right now, see what's going on. Justin Anderson there in the 12th spot, the 57 machine of Nicholas Cohan, and I actually believe that it's a tribute scheme to Norm Benning in that 57. And I believe Norm Benning's finest moment in NASCAR, the Eldora qualifier, last chance qualifier. In about 2013, he had that red paint scheme with a 57 on his side. And what a fight he put to the big guys there, able to get into the field at Eldora. And a big race Eldora was for the Truck Series until it got removed and replaced by the driver of course, well, driver Tony Stewart owned the track, but it got replaced by Bristol Motor Speedway and its third configuration. Adam Wood in the 16th spot right now. And it looks like the 29 machine of Nick Terabutch, a Kevin Harvick fan, it appears by the numbers he chooses week after week. The 29 is in 18th. Looking back through the remainder of the field, it looks like it's going to be a driver we haven't focused on in quite a while. Alan Dobbs right now is in position number 41. Just hanging back right now, trying to see what he can do right now. Learning from the guys in this back of the pack, because at Daytona, even if you're last, or even if you're close to last, it doesn't mean you're a bad driver. Alec Daffin's still holding on with damage right now, just trying to keep himself in the mix for Shaw Racing. These guys in the back of the field are not bad drivers. You got to keep that in mind. They are just holding on, waiting for strategy, waiting for things to get a bit rougher. As we go back up front, Boomer Logan there with the midst of the field. It's still Johnston and Stroll holding on. 17 laps in, these guys certainly have different strategies. Some guys choose to believe that Daytona's a bit easier if you just get it underway and keep it going all the way up front. You're able to avoid the wrecks in the back, and that is a great philosophy when it works. And key words there, when it works. If things go wrong, things go awry at Daytona, you're going to be at the mercy of the guy behind you. Even if you're up front at the top of the grid, you are not entirely in control, no matter what the circumstance is. And that's just something these guys have to get accustomed to. Timothy Johnston right now in the 82 machine. Well, he might know it. He's out front by a decent margin. Several car lengths there. DJ Stagner right behind him in the number 2 machine. And it is going to be a close battle between all of these guys up front. Tyler Hensley in the number 3 spot. And the 5 machine holding on quite strong. Michael Stroll is in 4th. Cody Smith is in 5th. And Rob Ackley, position number 6. Joe Dinsmore is in 7th. And Chad Michaels is in 8th. Let's see from there on out. Justin Anderson in position number 10. And Thomas Bresci is now going to be right beside him as they fight for the 9th spot. And it looks like Bresci has it for now. Daniel Foss going to be oh so close in the same spot. Nicholas Cohan is in 12th, and Adam Wood looks to be in 14th here. And right beside him in the 13th spot is now Cohan as Justin Morton makes his way back up into the top 12. Morton slowly but surely rolling back in. We saw he was up front very early on there. But now that he is not, and he's just biding his time, he has a chance to just learn from the guys in front of him. As it looks like the 22 is bumped just a bit too hard. Rob Ackley has some damage to the front end there. And that's not going to be good at all when it comes to aerodynamics. That could affect him severely. We'll see whether or not it does in fact affect him severely, as the 22 machine holding on strong here so far, although it looks like now the outside line is certainly losing a lot of time. Slowly but surely reeling back as the inside led by Tyler Hensley now has the advantage, and nobody else able to catch up so far. Almost a fifth of the way through already. No cautions have been thrown, and everyone keeping this thing together. Going to be a big wiggle there from Tyler Hensley. He goes all the way up the track, and he's going to try to catch himself. He's going to let Michael Stroll by. No blocks. He's not going to play any silly business. And now it's going to be led by Johnston once again. You saw he got on the apron there, and that got him all the way loose. And now he's going to fall through the pack once more. Not going to be a good look for the driver of the 5 machine in some ways, but also a lot of discipline and a lot of maturity as a driver to make sure that you know when you should just back off. And it looks like he's still in a bit of trouble there on the high side of the track. And he's still falling through the pack as we speak. Hensley now going to slot right in, right beside Boomer Logan. This should be around the 20th position, 20 laps in. And Johnston still holding on strong here in the lead of this pack. DJ Stagner second. Cody Smith is in third. Michael Stroll now still oh so close. And the inside line lost a lot of momentum thanks to that incident. They got a bit stunted. Still 20 in. Michael Stroll having a lot of trouble holding that outside line together with not as much help. The 22 certainly might be a few revs down now. Let's go on board with him and see if Rob Ackley is the problem. And Ackley, you can't tell by the ages right now. He's pushing certainly as hard as he can with the car. But you can see from the inside of his car, he certainly has some interior damage. That hood is popped up just a bit, and you don't want it popped up at all. Of course, you want a clean aerodynamic experience when you're racing. But it looks like the 22 machine certainly pumped his car up just a bit. Michael Stroll does not have rear end damage. He did last time we went racing. He still won that race, but front end damage means a lot more than that rear end damage. And it looks like right now he is suffering as a result. They're still hanging on thanks to side draft, but still going to be a much harder game to play for a guy like Stroll and a guy like his teammate Rob Ackley for domination, intimidation racing. And it is Timothy Johnston holding it down for Dizzy Motorsports as they come to the strike once again. DJ Stagner is in second and having a great run of it as we speak. The number 64 blackout machine has been lights out since the beginning of this one, and he's all the way up front for a good reason. A lot of discipline, a lot of move making. It's been all calculated, and he has made his risks worth it. As we can see back in the middle of the pack, the guys get a bit squirrely there. The 28 machine looked to get a bit squirrely in specific. And I'm going to check back on that. Matthew Thunhorst in the mix there, just a bit behind Carl Henderson. And Henderson getting himself tightened up right behind Brandon Bernhardt. And these guys slowly but surely catching up to one another, making their presences known. And in the back of the pack, these guys don't need to be all too close to one another because it's going to take so much to fight through the pack. You might as well just hold on, be along for the ride, and not damage one another. It's a safer opportunity to stay there than to get yourself all wrecked up and all messed up. Right now, these guys who know it, they are sticking to the plan. It's Tyler Hensley holding it down as the driver of the 5 machine. He's still there, able to slot in quite nicely, slowly but surely gaining some spots. He looks to now be a few cars ahead of Boomer Logan, and he's playing it just a bit more aggressively than drivers he's slotted in with. And certainly, his next move might be to try to catch up to the inside line. There is a big gap being left by Nick Tarabuch. That's about a car length's worth. And it almost looked like the driver in that number 5 machine was about clear of the 29, not able to make anything happen. Might be just a bit too risky, a bit too early. And Don Runkle Jr. there in the mix as well in this single file pack that's just about holding on. Chad Cole, 24th spot right now. He's there. Dale Brooks in the 71 machine. Shades of Matt Kenseth. Matthew Thunhorse and the 8 machine are right behind, as these guys in the back of the pack are just holding on and making sure they know what they've got before the race gets on its final stretch. 24 laps in out of 100, the first quarter of this race, and it has been almost entirely smooth sailing, save for a few incidents that were avoided eventually. We saw some very close near misses, but either way, these guys are able to hold on quite strongly. And the 82 machine of Johnston has been able to lead this one pretty decisively throughout the entirety of the run thus far. Great job from the driver of that number 82 machine as we get back to the stripe once again, 25 of 100. And looking at Johnston's lead right now, he's being propelled hard by the driver of the 64 in Stagner. Michael Stroh now within 2 car lengths of the inside line's lead. And while he's led that outside line pretty decisively and nobody's gotten in his way, he certainly knows he wants to be right up there. He's getting a big side draft now, and they might be able to make something happen here as he goes down double file now with the 82 machine. And they're going to be dead even for the first time in quite a while. It looks like the 22 able to hold on pretty strong there, but it's not going to happen that time through. Johnston just has something with DJ Stagner right now, and the first quarter of this race has flown by, and they might just be the best 2 partners on the track. It takes 2 to tango, and these 2 have been doing it the best out of anyone else. And the pit window, 70% fuel, and I do believe that will round us into looking at it from a perspective of the Xfinity cars. In my experience, that should be under 5 laps for now. Absolutely. That's a great pickup there. These guys have only about 50 laps when it comes to the 100%. So cutting it down just a bit, it is indeed going to get crazy. And a lot of analysis from the guys who have more driving experience than I do in these cars. So certainly just a bit of a refresher there. As the 82 and 64 go first and second. Michael Stroll in third. And Cody Smith now going to be side by side with him. Smith on the inside line and Michael Stroll holding his own on the outside. And these guys up front have not tried at all to go down onto the inside line or go down the outside line and try to swap over, get some positions by force. It's not their style, and it simply looks like they're going to hold on with peace. Make sure they make it to the end of the race no matter how it turns out. 27 laps in out of 100, still led by Timothy Johnston. And rolling down to the back straightaway once again, 27 laps in out of 100 in the fuel window. We are approaching it for the first time tonight. We should see about 2 or 3 pit stops if we go green all the way. Guys are already getting single file right now, just making sure they can get in nice and smooth, because you want to maintain something in the pack, and you can see they're already almost entirely single file now. And they're going to come down pit road this time by. It looks like one of them is going to do, and it's going to be only a few. And it looks like Cody Smith going to lead the first entries into pit road. And all these guys are falling down the pack so hard, we can't even get a look at the guys who've gone on pit road. And it looks like down to the stripe, here we have it. And the 83 machine on its way, and you can see other drivers going in as well. And this is the first segment of the pit cycle. There we go. These guys are already moving in. Fife on his way, gonna get out right now, and it looks like he will not be 3 laps down. iRacing might be messing up timing and scoring there. These guys in the back of the pack holding on just a bit. It looks like they will be scored a bit further down than they should be. iRacing is going to be at fault for that one. Our apologies there. It looks like the first pack is still holding on. It looks like a good group of 20, 25 drivers, as Johnston going to lead a good majority of the group guys down. This is going to take a lot of guys in, and Johnston gets the edge. A little bit of tire smoke. That's going to be from Michaels there. And apologies once again, Michael Duell. That's just an iRacing thing. These guys in the back of the pack pass 30th, 35th. Sometimes iRacing just gets their scoring wrong, and it's either that or they placed automatically in the lead or something. That's just a thing that the service has sometimes, and unfortunately, one of the few limitations here. As we go back out front, Joe Dinsmore now going to lead the field in, and he's going to lead the third group of guys, and these guys are going to all cycle back together. You're going to almost be blocked by a Ladd car there. Wow, big time move there. And the 33 machine going to have a wild ride almost there. Jonathan Girvan got real close to the leaders, and while everyone's able to hold on, that could have been a near miss that gone a lot worse. This third group going to be led in this time by Dinsmore, Anderson, and the like. A lot of guys this time through. And look at that. 2 packs make it 3. Everyone's rolling through. A lot of smoke. No incidents. Everyone makes it through once again. And this is going to be one of the big ones. No, we have an incident in the back of the pack. The 81 machine of Bernhardt there. That's going to be one that goes around. And we're trying to get a quick look at it as Bernhardt is still trying to adjust himself. And he certainly got caught up in the motion of it. And let's take a third of the speed replay there. The first incident of the night, 30 laps in. And Brandon Bernhardt gets affected. And he's all the way down to the power there, tries to get it locked in and locked out. And he looks to be going good so far. Then he's going to have one driver get right beside him. I believe that will be Cody Griffin. And he turns in as soon as Cody Griffin gets right on him. And that's just going to be a miscalculation for both drivers. And the 21 machine not involved, but the 81 machine is. And that is the first one of the night. And the 69, oh so lucky, the 3-stall rule in iRacing. They're able to go right through each other. And almost a big lick there with the 88 as we get back on our way. And he's already on his way as well. But he's going to be caught out quite a bit. Justin Morton is going to be up front with the main pack right now. Shane Ewing is scored as the leader. And he is already pitted. He's about a second and a half over Carl Henderson. Adam Wood in third. And this is the biggest pack up front so far. It is a 4-car group. And all these little packs will soon accumulate into one. And you can see them already in the back of the frame. Then we get going once again, 30 laps in. And after a green flag stint like that, one incident, of course, with the 81 machine and the 3, after a green flag stint like that, the odds of us going green all the way have just become so much more. It's almost unbelievable. You can't quantify it. Adam Wood is leading right now. Justin Anderson with Gale Brooks, Joe Dinsmore, Tyler Hensley, Blake Gordon, and Thomas Bresci. As these small packs are now linking up with each other. And the top 30 guys should be up with one another right now. You can see Jacob Fife in position. And now it is all about getting back to your friends here. It's Forrest Smith, the 84 machine there. Remainder of the field is still on their way, trying to get themselves back onto the track. It looks like about 30 or so guys will be in this lead group. And the 45 going to be the man who leads them through. They're still single file right now. Now, how about this alternative strategy? We're going to check on the guys who are leading this one. Timothy Johnson is in the 9th position right now. We're going to try to get a look at the 38 machine because absolutely a great run. He was going at the 48 machine, going to go 3 wide there, and it's going to be a big move for Tyler Hensley. They're going to slot right back into line there. Not a big issue. However, things are already getting antsy after our first green flag stint there. And the 38 machine, he's going to be a little bit further off than we expected. Michael Stroll, he's going to be a few cars back on Johnston. The old Dominators are not leading anymore as Johnston going to go to the outside line and trying to make something happen up top. Adam Wood leading for the first time tonight, about a third of the way here at Daytona. The Big Evil Designs Daytona 250. And glad to have incredible partners for an incredible season. We are getting this show on the road in style. We are sponsored by a great group of drivers and associates as well. Next Level Racing, gotta thank them for that. They're gonna be on the screen for just a little while here as we rotate through our sponsors. Before we get to our crank it up for tonight's event, Adam Wood on the move there, goes up to the high side, and he's gonna have himself a battle with Justin Anderson. And Anderson in on the 76 now, going to try to make something happen with Timothy Johnson. Johnson's been running oh so well, and all race long we've seen him as a big-time contender. The 76 machine up front leading the high side. And it is Gale Brooks now on the inside, the pusher. And these pushers have a delicate and important role in a race, especially at a race with such a high stake, such as the season opener at Daytona. If you're out front one of these races, you have to be perfect. Time in and time out. And Gale Brooks, the driver like Timothy Johnson, in the same role right now. And it's all about not blowing your shot as the pusher. Gaining trust, gaining responsibility as a member of the group here who is driving. And you can see side by side once again, Justin Anderson, Timothy Johnston, Joe Dinsmore, Blake Gordon, Justin Morton. And every one of these guys, they are on a tear right now. And they are double file with the 45 and 76 leading them through so far. We go through the remainder of the field. Chad Michaels there. It's going to be Daniel Foss in the mix as well. And he's going to be right there with Matthew Thunhorst. These boys up front, they're giving each other some great time, great opportunity to go back and forth. It's going to be Jacob Fife in a single file line. A bit of a strand there. We head back to the front of this group. Right now, back of the field, we're going to check out Brandon Bernhardt following that incident. Looks like he's not a lap down. He's actually with a pack right now. And they are strung out just a bit, but he's still in the mix there. They're not all too bad. Chad Cole in the 69 machine in a group himself. Justin Rowden there as well. It looks like still about 28 drivers in that front group. And it's led still by the 45. And being up front at Daytona, of course, a lot of responsibility. The mid-pack holding on quite strongly as well. Right now, Michael Stroll is in a position number 13. These guys in the middle of it, they are having to move themselves as well. You don't want to be caught out right now and lose some extra spots You're already in the middle of the pack right now. You really don't want to give up any more position. 36 laps in, out of 100. And these guys like Stroll, they know it. And they will have to live with the consequences if they lose it. There's right now 2 lanes, and these guys are using about 3 lines to make it happen. Some guys go way high, some guys try to keep it tight with the side draft. They're all holding on and just keeping themselves a bit of room in case something happens and they have to check up or they have to avoid a lap car. It's all about patience, it's all about calculation. If you're not able to keep it calculated, you will not be able to keep it in competition. That's double file. These guys still are. And looking back, DJ Stagner up front following that first pit cycle. He is dropped back into the 6th spot. Now down to the 9th spot as they are all shuffling the outside line, losing just a bit of momentum. Stagner right now is on the inside and should have the advantage of picking up a few drivers once again. The outside line is slowly but surely losing its stuff there. As you can see, guys are falling back pretty hard. Timothy Johnston and the driver of the 76 machine and Justin Anderson losing all of that momentum. And they'll get it back on the back straightaway once again, but again, these guys on the inside line just seem to have what it takes right now to keep themselves in the motion. Guys like Stagner running up front, guys like Hensley, guys like Bressie, guys who have been up front all race long. Paired up with some guys we haven't seen all too much. Braxton Weiss up in this lead pack, Hayden Pastorius, Boomer Logan, Rob Ackley. It's all about finding yourself either as one of the best guys to work with or one of the guys who just has to lay back and find themselves where the strategy takes them. 38 laps in, out of 100, and some of these guys know where they want to be, and some of these guys do not know. That looks like right now coming up on a lap machine, and that will be the first group. Carl Henderson going to be in it, and it looks like Henderson going to lose just a bit of time that time through. He's going to be in 29th according to timing, scoring in 30th as well, as Shane Ewing goes a lap down that time by. Justin Anderson is on a tear as they lap the first 2 lead lap drivers who've gone down on pace. The green flag segment, 2-car tandem not able to hold on all too well so far. 38 laps in, out of 100. And now, coming up to lead lappers, coming lap cars for the first time all season long, all race long. It's all about managing where you go when the lap cars come. Of course, these guys more often than not get the instruction to go to specific places like the apron or the high side. They don't interfere with the racing. In the case they don't, you have to plan, and you have to plan fast. That is a challenge for any driver. And guys up front, they know it, and they will have to work with what they are given. As some of these guys in the lap machines can be unpredictable. We saw the 33 machine almost gave a wild ride to the leaders coming on to pit road that time by, and the first pit cycle almost got destroyed there. However, we are still racing green up to our 40th lap this time by. And almost halfway through, no yellow flag has been called. At about a 25, 26, 27 lap fuel window, we are almost getting back up for our second stop of the night. And the 82 is back out front like it is nothing. Having to climb back up from outside the top 10 during the first run. He was up front. Now, clawed from the middle of this front group all the way up to the top end of it, leading the outside line compared to leading the inside line earlier on. And while it is absolutely a change of pace to be up high, because it looks like the outside line has simply not been working as well as the inside. He's certainly trying to make it happen there, as these guys are a sea of colors, nice looking schemes. It appears that we got some guys appreciating the colors on these machines, and a great group of painters these guys seem to have on contact, on speed dial. Some guys paint themselves. Chad Michaels, I know for a certain, does paint his own stuff. And these guys are still pushing. A lot of great sponsors to represent, a lot of great drivers representing them, and they all put on a flashy show week in, week out, and this is the first week under points paying competition that they have the privilege to put on such a great show. Once again, Adam Woods side by side there. He's going to be with the 48 machine that time by, paired up with the 48. The 45 is. They're double file, and nobody has made a risky move just yet. Single file following the 20th spot. So it's about 2 wide, 10 rows deep, and then from there on out, they are going to be one by one by one by one. Looks like Jacob Fife going to see some 2 wide right behind him there with Trevor Traco and Justin Rowden. However, DJ Stagner there in the 10th spot. The 42 lap mark, we have hit it. Justin Anderson going to be scored as your leader that time through. And he has the 82 machine of Timothy Johnston right beside him here. And almost halfway, only a few miles away from that point, and the first 125 miles have flown quite quickly. And from there on out, the first half, always a great time to get acclimated. Again, if you missed a clash, you still have an opportunity to make something happen. You missed some of the laps in practice. This is a great time to get in the back and just ride cool. Then, second half comes in. You've got to push to the limit, and there can't be any stopping. And if it's all done and done, and if it's all said and done, you got to figure out one thing and make sure you stick to it. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And if it is, it might just be the move that takes you down to victory lane. And the yells of these engines bring up a point we haven't brought up all race long. What if these guys blow their motors? It is possible if they push hard enough. Right now we see Blake Gordon pushing up with Timothy Johnston, and these guys do have gauges to see how hard they're pushing the car. As Blake Gordon goes down to the inside line, he's going to try to lead that lap. If these guys do get too close to a car for too long, they could blow up the motor. The water temp, the oil temp could get way too high, and that could be all she wrote for any driver's race. Even if they're careful when it comes to being patient with guys, being very cautious about what lines they choose and whatnot, you could blow up a race just by making that simple mistake. Maybe you're pushing too hard trying to help your teammate. Maybe you're just trying to get away from a guy who's a bit too risky and you don't want to be there. If you do that, if you make that attempt just a bit too long, you could be done and done. Blake Gordon certainly knows where he wants to be. He's up front right now. He got himself up front from the inside line, then to the outside and back in. And the 48 is on the move, and nobody appears to be stopping. The Endeavor Racing machine has taken up the endeavor to get to the front of the pack, and he has done it with strides. And now, double file, we still look through the pack here. These guys in the middle of it are holding on quite nicely, and nothing they can do but hold on and wait for this thing to get reshuffled in just about 10 or 15 laps. The second pit cycle on its way in almost like natural stages here at Daytona. Backing it down, coming in for a pit cycle. You want to see if you can get that advantage, get the extra 10th of a second. If you're able to do that, you might just come out the race winner. If you're able to get a good pit stop, that is absolutely everything. And a group of guys that are so good, so talented, no yellow so far, 45 laps in. Daytona, all these super speedways, they're known for breeding cautions. And these guys haven't bred anything just yet. Over 100 miles and then some without a caution. And that just proves how good these guys are, and that proves how high the ceiling is when it comes to talent in this league. Justin Morton in the middle of the pack right now. It is still about double file as we see Jacob Fife not in this one. But Boomer Logan going to go side by side, almost 3 wide there with Michael Stroll. Going 3 wide at such an early point like this. Of course, that was only for just a moment. Rob Ackley still has damage with Michael Stroll now trying to make his way up with a 3 wide maneuver there. And this could be the start of some aggression here. The 38 machine going with the 28 and the 22 there. And the 22 with that 38 machine. And this is getting very close into the wall. The 38 and the 28 go. Henderson, Stroll, caution is out. And I'm not sure what the objective was for any of those drivers. First caution of the night. And as you can see, Stroll's car is destroyed. Let's get an instant replay on the matter. And side by side, Stroll with Henderson. And they tap for the first time right there. And they continue to tap. And they just back it into the wall, and that is all she wrote. First yellow, 47 laps in. And a big one there for Michael Stroll and Carl Henderson. And I'm not sure if that was netcode that linked them up to one another. But either way, a big wreck, multi-car incident, and that is your first yellow of the season. Michael Stroll and Carl Henderson. I think Stroll's done. That car is destroyed. And down on pit road, he's not. And he limps it around still. The AC Delco number 38 machine has seen better days. Still your leader, Blake Gordon. Let's see if these guys go in. As they come down a pit road, Blake Gordon leads a good majority of the field. In fact, I believe he leads all of it. And we would try to get an interview with whoever leads this race after the pit cycle. Gordon takes him on through. And let's try to get a pit road camera and see who wins the race off of pit road. Johnston, your pole sitter, come down to the pole position stall, and a few guys tag each other. And halfway through, first yellow of the season. There we have it. Back on the move. It looks like Blake Gordon wins over Justin Anderson, Timothy Johnson, Tyler Hensley, Gale Brooks, Adam Wood, Thomas Bressey, Joe Dinsmore, Chad Michaels, and DJ Stagner. As multiple other drivers come through, it looks like it's going to be Dunhorse on his way. Stagner there, Alec Daffin, Alan Dobbs. Great equalizer. Pit road has been all of these drivers' first yellow, 46 laps in. Now on to our 48th. Blake Gordon is still your race leader. How about we dial up the man up front in this one so far? Blake Gordon on a roll. Nobody on his level just yet. Let's get a word from the driver of the 48 machine as he leads this one through. Almost halfway in to our first race of the season. And we're going to try to find out right now whether or not he is available for a comment, and it looks like we should be able to get something out of him right now. Blake Gordon on the move, the driver of the number 48 machine, and he is positioned number 1 as we speak. Blake Gordon, how do you feel? You are leading halfway into this race and halfway to go. You made it this far. How will it be getting to the rest of it?
I couldn't ask to be in a better spot here. I've got my buddy behind me, Justin. We've raced quite a bit in other leagues, so I got my drafting partner up here. I'm in a good spot. Excited for the next half of this race.
And absolutely a lot to be excited about. Good part of this race has been all clean, all green racing. As we head back to the show in just a few laps time, what will it be when it comes to strategy? We just try to stay up front. Saw you were eventually able to get yourself out front, making a bit of an aggressive move as we have 1 to green right now. So any final thoughts in regards to strategy?
Yeah, just stay up front, keep it clean, don't do anything stupid, and don't wreck, I guess. We got one more pit stop, it looks like, to go through. That last pit cycle went great through the green flag stops. That's how we got up here. Went from like 20th-ish to like, top 5, top 6. So we're just going to have to nail that pit stop. And then from there, it's put the gloves on and see what happens.
And certainly a great pit cycle, able to get the 48 machine out in front. Blake Gordon working up to the top of the field. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
I'm going to drag him right back into the voice chat there. The driver of the 48 machine leading the way with still the 76 machine in second, and right behind him, your pole sitter halfway through, still in this one. And I do believe only 2 cars have major damage as it is, and Chris Weiss saying the 38 machine has a strong car. I do believe still able to keep going. Michael Stroh certainly has a lot of damage after that last incident, and will absolutely be to his detriment as that 38 machine is all banged up. And right now, he seems to be down on pit road, and we are checking. He's actually back on the track, and Carl Henderson does not appear to be in the same situation. Henderson down and out. However, it's going to be Blake Gordon leading them back to the green flag this time by. And from this point on, it will be a 50-lap race. We're going to start on lap number 50 and go on with the show from there on out. The pace car is in, and Blake Gordon leads Justin Anderson. First restart of the night. Let's go racing. As everyone rolls on through, the greatest start he could ask for. The 48 machine out in front by a wide margin. The 72 machine not there, but the 82 of Timothy Johnston is. And 76 on the high side, losing a lot of speed. Once again, the outside does not get started up all too well. Tyler Hensley there in the 5 car. And Gale Brooks is in 4th. Justin Anderson in 5th. And Adam Wood is in position number 6. And right now, how we can get a check on the driver who seems to be the fan favorite right now. Braxton Weiss is in now the 9th position with the Jeff Schmidt number 15 machine up front for the first time all race long here. As the 8 machine goes all the way high, everyone able to hold on, still double file, 50 laps in. And this time by, we are going to mark it as 50 laps to go halfway into this race, and that is for certain. It is time to get down to the remainder of it. And Stim Racer Hub is sponsor here, 50 laps remaining at Daytona. Now 125 miles of range to determine the race winner of this event. And it's all about laying back for some of these guys, all about pushing forward for others. If you're not able to nail down your strategy right now, you might as well have no chance, because now we see some guys going 3 wide already for the lead there. Justin Anderson there. Blake Johnston is going to be there as well. It's going to be Blake and Johnston. Tyler Hensley there in the midst of it. 3 wide. It's going to be the 82 machine losing a lot of spots. Timothy will be held out to dry as 3 wide they go for the race lead for only a moment. Now comes back to double file. Although it looks like the middle line and the outside don't have them run, and that the inside has, and that is not good. Certainly, these guys have to think about how to keep that momentum up. They want to fight with Blake Gordon and the like. And Gordon still leading over the 82 machine. Tyler Hensley is in third. And Braxton Weiss in fourth. It looks like these guys up front who are able to just hold on are able to run away from the pack outside of the top 10. They are double file for a good majority of it. But past that, they do get back to the single file procedure. Looks like it is again outside of the top 20. Alec Daffin side by side with Justin Carey. But then Casey Shue, Brad Patton, and these guys are double file in some areas. For the most part, they are single file and not too close to one another like the guys up front. As now Timothy Johnston leads the way once again. 82 looks like there is no stopping. Once more, he is out up front, and nobody on his level keeping himself in the front of this group. As the 18 machine of Cody Smith is going to go 1 lap down. Looks like he has some damage from perhaps the last incident, not able to hold on to leaders. And he now is 1 down. One of the other drivers get put 1 lap down on pace. One of the first few, and actually I do believe he is the first in this run. As the 82 goes side by side, Braxton Weiss has made his way up to the front of the pack for the first time tonight. And what a run it has been. How we ride on board for just a moment. And as we get the uninterrupted audio from the driver of the 15 machine, full throttle as he moves down to the inside line. He is certainly making moves for the sake of strategy now. 47 laps to go. It is all about playing your cards right. And now it looks like DeWeese is in control of this one. And Timothy Johnston is in second. Justin Anderson there as well. Adam Wood. These guys in the top 4 all cycling back and forth and shuffling within one another. And nobody appears to be able to do that, as well as the driver of the 82 right now. He's got 1 driver in front of him. Doug Middendorf coming to the chat once again. Thank you for stopping by. As Braxton DeWeese is on a tear now. He's got himself back up from the middle of the pack all the way up front, and it looks like the People's Champ is running up front and looking for that race victory. And he is doing it like it's nothing. A great run for the driver of the 15 machine right now. He is fighting toe-to-toe with the guys who dominated this race. And a Jeff Smith sponsored 15 right there with the U.S. Postal Service number 76. And everyone here representing something different, but a lot of the guys are running the same manufacturer. And looks like the dominating manufacturer tonight has been Chevrolet. A good majority of these guys in this group have been running bow ties all race long, of course, and all season long. The 2 races we've seen them in on this channel. And these boys have been moving. Although we do have a forward, and that is Adam Wood up front for the Blue Ovals. And he's leading that charge quite nicely. Right behind him, it's Dinsmore. Blake Gordon is right there as well. Justin Morton in the mix. At 46, we have 45 laps to go. With Tyler Hensley there as well. The 83 in the mix as well. That's Daniel Foss for the first time tonight. And Foss making himself known as well. And he's got a striking liver to go with it. The number 83 machine has a great look to it. With 45 remaining, he's making his presence known in many ways. Not only for the paint scheme, but also for the driver. He seems to have something on the receive that these guys want to match. And going up front, he's been chasing spots down, and he's been able to find what he's been chasing. As Adam Wood, still side by side with Justin Anderson. As it stands right now, Michael Stroll will get a big update in the number 38 machine. He seems to be losing an awful lot of time. That car is destroyed. However, Stroll as is hanging back with the driver of Brandon Wenger. These two are about 20-odd seconds off the pack of rear-end damage for the 88 machine, and a lot of damage all around for the driver of the 38. They both are in a lot of trouble, and looks like the 88 going to come down pit road this time by. It might be an alternate strategy, or it could be him pitting out. Although it looks like that is a 28-lap stint he just ran. Michael Stroll on his lonesome. Cody Smith 1 lap down, but he's still right with the best of them. And these guys up front have about 10 or 15 laps until what should be their final stop of the night. However, the opportunity for an overtime finish might extend that strategy. And we'll see who runs that strategy out long, who tries to go to the final lap to pit in hopes for perhaps an overtime finish, and who just goes in early hoping that we finish exactly at the 100th lap that we have scheduled. We'll see whether or not we are able to make it to that 100th lap without any controversy, because any pit stop from here on out could change the strategy drastically once more. I think these guys are not hoping for a caution at all, let alone within the next 10 to 15 laps. That could make the pit strategy even more perilous. If you have a late race pit stop with about 5-10 laps to go, maybe even less than that, we could see some insanity on the track. Guys desperately hoping to keep themselves in the lead battle. It could become chaos, and it won't be good for any of these guys, as they will not be going marbles that are worth going for. They might just get a bit too aggressive, a bit too intense, and it could result in some tempers flaring. You never want to see that in a league as competitive as this one. 43 laps to go becomes 42 that time by. These guys begin to roll through time after time. You see a bit of apron running there for the 82 machine. Steps on the apron just a bit, able to hold back onto it on the 42 lap remaining signal. That just means that these guys are getting oh so close to the finish right now, and they don't have all too much to worry about unless they get very, very intense. 3 wide in the back of the pack. We are seeing it just a bit. It looks like DJ Stagner might be there with it. Justin Rowden, the 12 machine, and Nick Terrybush there as well, the 42 machine in the mix. And that 42, orange and blue, a striking paint scheme with contrasting colors. Absolutely one to watch, as the 42 has worked his way up into the 18th spot, just biding his time, not making all too many aggressive maneuvers. He's kept himself in the mix as a result. Playing it safe and playing it calm, that's what you got to do sometimes as a racing driver. You just got to wait and see how it all works out as the night goes on. Justin Anderson still leading the way here side by side. The 45 is with Braxton Deweese. And Joe Dinsmore there as well, though the outside line always picks up on that back straightaway. I tell you what, they are on a move and on a tear every time they come out of it, out of the chute. It looks like 45 machine of Wood there with the 76. Now with 41 laps remaining, it is an incredible process to ride lap after lap, and the sun is setting here at Daytona. So we might see a night sky by the time this race is over. 60 laps in, out of 100. And the sun will shine in their eyes. Let's take a look at DJ Stagner's on board and see exactly what we're seeing in the cockpit view. And the sun not shining that time through. We have a big wreck. This is going to be a huge one. Everyone's getting involved. Stagner able to avoid it. And the caution flag is out once again. 40 laps to go. And Stagner able to get out of that one alive. And it is still a pile-up city here. And a great on board to show how to avoid it. Not a lot of these guys able to do just that. Let's find out what happened. And taking a quick look, let's take it back half a minute, find out what was the catalyst for that wreck. Instant replay in motion. And let's take a quick rewind and see what started it. It looks that started in front of the frame that we already have going here, and it looks like the 9 machine might have been closer to that one, so let's take a look. A lot of guys already falling out of frame here, so it's going to be a little bit harder to check on who was involved and who was not. 9 machine, Justin Morton certainly saw the catalyst for that wreck. It might have been actually all the way up front, and it looks like that it was Timothy Johnston. And it looks like Joe Dinsmore pushes Adam Wood, and that's what makes it happen. And you can see they already hit one another, and let's watch that wreck in slow-mo. Wood into Johnston, and Blake Gordon has nowhere to go, backs up into Morton, and it looks like Gordon tries to go up as a panic response. It looks like Prestorius involved, Gale Brooks, and a huge wreck. 25 machine able to get out of it, the 24 as well. And oh, so many guys get caught up in the big one here at Daytona. And Alec Daffin makes his way onto the scene here. Thomas Bresci gets absolutely banged up. And the 50 there, the 57, the 9, Justin Morton. And this is huge. And so many guys get caught up in so many ways. You could see a whole lot of guys. They need to get out of it, and they have a lot of damage, front end, rear end. It doesn't matter where. We could see some guys blowing some engines up. Everyone comes down to the stripe once again, but this time they come down on pit road. And this just got more intense. Much more. A lot of guys going to have pit road to hit for damage. and they're going to have to hit it for strategy. This should be the last caution and the last pit stop of the night, of course, without any other incident. And a lot of guys going to be taken out of the mix here, as it looks like the 76 back on his way. And he should be the winner off of pit road, and that he is. As you can see, it's going to be Blake Gordon following him right out, and it looks like it's going to be DJ Stagner there with Braxton DeWeese. And 37 took it to the grass to avoid all of it. And how about that for the 37 machine? Is look at this, the pit road battle. Looks like it's going to be side-by-side. Alan Dobbs with Cody Griffin. And the 76 is the man out front, and that is Justin Anderson. How about we get a word with the driver of that number 76 machine? Because now Anderson is to the point here, and he is the man on top so far. And let's see whether or not he is capable of getting a comment right now. It is the 76 machine of Justin Anderson. And it looks like right now we will not be able to get a comment from your race leader. We already have one from the driver of Blake Gordon. So how about we get a comment for the driver of the 15, and that is Braxton DeWeese. And DeWeese running very well so far in that third position. And let's take a look at how he's feeling so far in this race. Still a lot of time to get things done, and we are going to drag him right into the voice chat here and get a word for the man who is leading this one. Well, he's going to be leading that second row, that's for certain, as we are going to drag him slowly but surely up into the broadcast booth there. Give us just a moment to get ourselves connected, as we will take the time to talk to the man in currently the third position. Braxton DeWeese, third spot right now for the number 15 car. How do you feel? 38 remaining.
I'm just happy to have a clean race car. There's only a couple of us that have a clean race car, haven't got any damage so far this race. So, you know, I'm really happy that we still have a clean race car. Hopefully we can make it to the end here with still being clean, and hopefully we can make something of it.
And absolutely a lot of time to make something of it. 37 remaining. So how is it finding help on the racing service? We see you are in a voice chat right now. We got a lot of guys in specific voice chats. So how's it been working with the guys you have?
Yeah, it's actually been it's been fine. It's been pretty good. You know, it's always good, you know, working with multiple people. You know, the more people you have, the more minds you can put to it and see what you can put together. So we've all been working together pretty well. I know a couple of them got in that wreck there, and I've had a little bit of other trouble as well. So hopefully we can, you know, the ones remaining we can all work together and try to be up front at the end.
Absolutely. Now, this should be the final pit stop as far as we're aware on strategy. Are the fuel loads able to make it all the way?
No, we actually have to pit one more time. It's super close, but we're not going to be able to make it. We're about a couple laps short. By the way it's looking right now, it says I have about 33 laps in a tank. So, yeah, we're pretty close. We're gonna talk and see what we can do and when we're gonna pit here. Because I mean, you know, everybody's got to pit. We just let it run it out and see if there's a caution or something, but we'll definitely figure it out and see what we can do.
Absolutely. Oh, so close on strategy. Braxton DeWeese in the third spot. Going to drag you back in the on-air chat. Just make sure to make yourself home in the voice chat you're in. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Going to drag him right back in there. Make sure he's back on his way. And we're going to have him with his team chat in just a moment. It is still led by Justin Anderson and then Blake Gordon in second, with Braxton DeWeese in third. And here we go. Back to the action. Let's get it started. Green flag is out, and it's the 76 holding on with the 48 right beside him. How about these guys are on the move? As the engines roar, the 15 machine on the move. Jeff Smith sponsorship, the outside line not able to hold on there. Right beside him, DJ Stagner there. It's going to be Alec Daffin in the 48 machine. According to timing and scoring, he is in the one. With 36 remaining, it is now or never. These guys up front, as you can see, Blake Gordon now on the high side there. And with 36 remaining, you do or die at this point. And side by side, these boys up front, Justin Anderson, Blake Gordon, they are on the move here. These guys are still 2 by 2 and only so much time remaining. And I believe that's all going to come down to how these guys played out for the final few laps. Down to the line once again, still led by Justin Anderson. Nobody else on his level here. It's down to the inside line. The inside has been dominant all race long, and nobody able to keep it on their level so far. It's been a roll for all these guys on the inside. On the outside, well, they have just had to compete for everything that they have. Blake Gordon there with them. And double file, the 48 and the 76 are. Braxton Reese still there, and DJ Stagner is as well. And now Alec Daffin getting behind him. And in the mix he is, as this is a huge group of drivers pushing to the limit here. And double file, they all are side by side by side. And 2 by 2, about 10 rows deep. And the 34 remaining here, becoming 33. Next time through, it is do or die for any driver, no matter where they are, inside or outside. These top 5, top 6 guys might just have it easy. As they pass by a lap car on the inside line, they are still holding on straight with 34 remaining here. And Justin Anderson holding on as the race leader. 48 there as well. Braxton Weiss is in third. DJ Stagner is in fourth. And Alec Daffin, position number 5. And Alan Dobbs in 6th there. And Cody Griffin. These guys in the top 7, top 8, they are all holding on double file. But we look in the middle of the pack, Chad Michaels, Chad Cole, Brad Patton. Anyone here still wants a chance at that race victory, so long as they hold on and keep themselves in contention just by holding on to the draft. And drivers side by side pushing to no end. And it looks like some of these guys getting a bit impatient on the high side, and that they are getting impatient indeed. Back of the pack incident. No yellow has been thrown. However, certainly multiple cars involved, and yellow flag is out. Kevin Matt, one of the guys involved. 33 remaining, and that is your third yellow of the night. And let's find out what happened. You could see, actually, that might have been echoed immediately. Wow. And we're going to try to get a better angle on that, because that is not a great look from that angle, of course. Let's check it from a different angle, and we're trying to get the absolute best, because I do think that's netcode as soon as we see it like that. And we will get a look. The 50 machine absolutely involved in Kevin Matz. And let's take a look there. And that was absolutely netcode. Netcode takes out 4 cars there. And that is not good at all. And we're trying to back it down so everyone sees that again. And you can see it in slow motion. That was not an incident that would have been caused by a driver. It just is impossible. Those guys did not touch. And while it's margin for error, of course, they did not make contact. And the 50 machine is sent sliding into the 12. And that yellow should not have happened. iRacing registering multiple cars being close to one another as contact. And that leads us to another caution. Not good at all there. As the 50 machine with a 14. And while the good majority of these guys are able to drive by it, that is still going to be detrimental to those involved. We look out front once again. Braxton Weiss is your race leader. And the netcode brings out yet another caution. Justin Anderson leading from Blake Gordon, DJ Stagner, Alec Daffin, Casey Shue, Jacob Fife, Shane Ewing, and Brad Patton. As it looks like caution and controversy following a netcode-based wreck. And it looks like a few guys disconnecting for the night as a result. Let's get back to the show. If you enjoyed the action, be sure to drop a like on the stream and leave, of course, a subscription to the channel. It's always worth the while here on Fireball Talks NASCAR. We hope you enjoy the show. Sun is setting at Daytona. Green flags out once again, led by Blake Gordon. As we head back to the show here, guys up front have been up front consistently. And first, second, third, and fourth, all on the move there. Driver of the 48 machine is out front by a wide shot there. Got about a car length over the remainder of the field. Right there in second, DJ Stagner there as well. And top 4 guys, they are all on the move. The 48, the 64, the 76, and the 36. And Alec Daffin is in 5th. As everyone rolls on here, 29 laps remaining, double file once again. The last caution was not necessarily due to aggression. Of course, aggressive there. And it was a pretty tough battle. But still, it was netcode that caused that wreck. Thomas Bresci there as well. And Bresci has a lot of front end damage. If you look at the 73 machines on board, you can see the front end from there. Look at this. And somehow, he's going at full pace there. And the Exalta, number 24, despite all the damage, and it looks like his tires are all cambered off, he's still moving like nothing's happened. Justin Anderson in the first position. Nonetheless, 28 laps remaining. double file 48 machine there as well. Alec Daffin in first. Casey Shue, Blake Gordon. And double file even still 28 remaining here. They are still moving. As they roll on, 27 remaining. And a 36 machine there as well. Nicholas Gohan, Brad Patton, Kyle Cooper, Cody Smith. All these guys in the front of the pack are still holding on double file. The first machine is Alec Daffin now in that 48. Justin Anderson there as well. Casey Shue, Shane Ewing there in the mix. Blake Gordon in fifth. Chad Cole, DJ Stagnant. And all these guys double file now holding on, just trying to keep it safe. Timothy Johnston there as well in the mix. And these guys hold on quite strong. Inside line seems to be breaking away at about the 15th place portion of this track. And 27 laps remaining. Justin Anderson in second. And Blake Gordon there as well. Shane Ewing. And in the mix right now, they are all moving strong. Alec Daffin in the mix with 26 remaining. And everyone on the move here as we get back to the action. The sun is almost entirely set. And Timothy Johnston there as well. Doug Mindorf coming in the chat for Boba Fett. Allen's art images there as well. And it looks like Braxton Louise has a hell of a supporter base tonight. And he is doing great right now in 17th. Holding back right now. And he is on the move. Trying to get back out front. The 29 machine there as well. Chad Mikos in the 20th spot. And everyone here trying to make it happen as we are into the third and now into the fourth and final quarter of the race. Alec Daffin for Shaw Racing. He's one of the guys who are very, very important to the Stock Car Racing League, which we broadcast on Saturday nights, but now making his crossover into Mondays, and he is on a tear with driver Casey Shue right beside him. 25 remaining here, and U.S. Postal Service machine is still pushing on as well. Shane Ewing in the Rayovac number 32 with Blake Gordon in fifth and Chad Cole in sixth. Kyle Cooper in the 7th spot is there. Now he looks to be in 11th as we have a lap car, Joe Dinsmore, that every driver's passing. And you can see Cal Filarski there in the number 6 machine. And what a race it has been. Jacob Fife now, he looks to be up there as well with Tito's number 00 machine up there. And it looks like double file. It looks like about 10 rows deep, 25 laps remaining. And Boomer Logan now there as well. And Boomer Logan, the proud writer of 10 Questions with Boomer Logan, one of the sponsors of this league, and a great way to learn from all of these drivers. Week after week, able to interview new drivers, see how they are, and it's all about how these drivers are outside the sim as well as in the sim. You gotta remember, these guys are people. And these guys, well, they do have lives. They'll come out here and put on a great show like they're real racing drivers week after week. As if it's nothing, the sun has really left a glow. Even though it's just about entirely set here, the night sky at Daytona International Speedway will be coming in any moment now. And Alec Daffin with Casey Shue and Shane Ewing there as well. Alan Art Images saying it's looking good out there, and absolutely it is. What a beautiful skyline here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. And iRacing, what a platform it is. If you want to get started with iRacing, we have a referral code in the description. It helps us, and we hope it helps you to enter your sim racing journey and becoming eventually one of the guys up here week after week. A lot of guys you can race with, and there's a lot of great free content that comes with an iRacing subscription and amazing options to finance your way into the virtual motorsport world. Who knows where it can lead you? You could be the next big thing in the real world if you start early enough, or if you have the opportunity to build up the talent. It's not about where you start, it's always about how you finish. And here at Daytona, it's always about how you finish as well. Drafting double file, and always 2x2x2 it's been all race long. Casey Shue and Shane Ewing there as well. And it's going to be a big drop off there for the 4 machine, and a big move there. And Casey Shue takes the lead for the first time all race long. And Ewing there. Now it's going to be double file once again, but as it becomes 22 laps to go, for some of these guys who aren't initiated, this is what we do every time it hits 22 laps to go. For the best cameras in iRacing, TrackCams22.com. Track Cams for Gormans. We're going to throw it back to a 22 to go caution. Let's crank it up. It's going to be a great one. Let's watch it once more with the best cameras on the surface. And as it stands with a total of 18 laps remaining, it appears that Don Runkle is leading the way with a 3-wide battle in second. Cody Griffin, Shane Ewing, and Chad Cole there as well. And things are getting intense as the Runkle machine takes it to the top of the board here. And now we got a new contender up in the front of the pack, the 00 Ford Mustang. And now it's a move for 2 Mustangs up front, the front row dominated by both of them. It's the 69 and the 00 leading the way here at Daytona. And side by side, top 2 rows pulling away just a bit. Casey Shue there with Brad Patton. And double file they go. Alan Dobbs there as well. Alec Daffin. And it looks like Cody Griffin there in the mist. Justin Anderson side by side as well. Blake Gordon in 12th. Braxton Deweese in 13th. And DJ Stagnant in 14th. And Thomas Bresci in position 15. Jacob Fife in the 36 machine up there in the top 15 as well. And it is all about arguing these spots, not only when it comes to physically with the cars, but sometimes these guys have voice chat communication, and they all have to make sure that something goes on when it comes to how they pass. You got to have communication. It is always your best friend at Daytona. And even if you don't know the drivers you're working with, you want a means of communication. iRacing does provide its own chat. It also provides the means for typing, voice chat as well, and of course Discord, which a lot of these guys do use, and a lot of iRacers use to communicate without the compression of iRacing, which sometimes leads to some issues. Right now, Chad Cole, Don Runkle, Nicholas Cohan, Brad Patton, Shane Ewing, Alan Dobbs there, Casey Shue, Cody Griffin, and these guys are all moving with 16 remaining. The 69 machine there with Don Runkle and Nicholas Cohan, Shane Ewing there on this as well. And 2x2 all the way down. The 69 machine is in the lead. Braxton Deweese in the midst of it as well. And these guys are all double file. Thomas Bresci with a destroyed front end has been there up front as if nothing's happened. Unbelievably impressive for the driver of that number 24 machine. And he is still holding on as if nothing is wrong with that car. An unbelievable testament to talent there as 15 laps remain here at Daytona. Only 30-some miles remain as we are nearing the tail end of an incredible race. It's Brad Patton there, and he's going to get a bit of a wiggle there with 15 remaining. Now, people are starting to pick up and get just a bit more intense. As the 57 down on the inside line, the 2 on the outside, and Chad Cole in 3rd. And now Alan Dobbs, who started up in the top 2. He is in 4th now. And we saw all the hardship, the tribulations he had to face all race long. He fell to the back of the field in a first segment incident. And now he is out in front. He's going to perhaps have a chance at the victory after all. And how about it? Side by side, it's going to become 3 wide that time through. Braxton Deweese now in the mix here. And the 15 machine is back out front. And he's now going to be just outside the top 10. Alan Dobbs in the first spot. And Nick Tarabuch there as well. The 29, the 05, they are double file with Jacob Fife in the mix. Cody Smith in the mist as well. Braxton Deweese there. They're going to be 3 wide almost every row deep in this top 10, top 15. But it looks like the 29 of Tarabuch has the advantage. And this final countdown is what it all comes down to as a racing driver. If you want to make it to the end, you have to count your laps and count them well. Because these guys have had to manage every single piece of their strategy perfectly to make something happen. 88 laps in out of 133 laps remaining. It's do or die here at Daytona now. The sun might not be fully set by the time this thing is all over. These guys who are going aggressive right now know that they have to keep it straight just to get to that checkered flag. You can't win a race without getting to it after all. And there you have it. 3 wide once again. And down to the inside, the 29 machine goes. And Cody Griffin there as well in the number 3 machine. And he has made himself home up front. And all the way back to the stripe once again. They are oh so close to one another. And you can see the second pack is even double filed, so they're getting even more intense. But right now they are losing draft. Last guy in the front of the pack, it is the 48 machine. And he's holding on, but only slightly. 12 laps remaining. And Thomas Bresci getting out front despite all the damage and despite everything with his car. He is up there. And he is up there like nothing is going on. He might have damage, and he might have an awful lot of it. But the engine doesn't seem to be destroyed all too much. And let's take it on board with the driver of that number 24 machine. Certainly He's given us a good show time after time. And let's take a quick look at his onboard camera and show you the VR perspective from the number 24 machine. And while he's 3 wide in the middle of the pack, it might not seem like it the way his perspective is. He's keeping the head straight. And the VR, one of the more close to disadvantage aspects of a VR machine is that you don't have the opportunity to quickly flick back and forth your perspective. You can't look right, left or right for a split second, then flick right back. It's all about moving your head at the right times and see exactly where you have to be, exactly when you want to be there, as we head back to the stripe once again, non-stop, and you can see that there is racing at every angle from the cockpit, and absolutely what one driver sees pixel for pixel, all the way right up to the live perspective. Let's get it back live once again and see what these guys are up to. Nick Tarabuch on the move there. Alan Dobbs in the mist as well. Cody Griffin in third. Brad Patton going to be seeing as they go 3 wide, and Tarabuch has the entire field behind him now. 25 miles and 2 laps. 8 laps time. It's 10 to go right now, and the final stretch is in sight. And Nick Tarabuch with a 3 machine of Cody Griffin right behind him, and they are all so close to one another. It is unbelievable. Nobody within sight of the checkered flag just yet, but they're all in sight of one another as Braxton DeWeese goes to the lead for the first time in quite some time, and now back out front after a little while away, pushed by Jacob Fife all the way up front. And the first place machine of Braxton DeWeese in that first spot. Nick Tarabuch is in second, Jacob Fife third, and Cody Griffin in the fourth spot, with now Cody Smith in 6th as they go 3 wide once again, and they're about 3, 4, 5 rows deep in that 3 wide fashion. 15 machine has the edge with a 29 in second, and Alan Dobbs in third, and Cody Griffin there as well. They all fight pass after pass, keep moving on. Time after time, it appears that these guys are able to just get a bit more aggressive and push the limit just a bit more. They want to make something happen. 29 machine there as well, and it looks like the 2 machine going to slide in real aggressive there. Brad Patton able to hold on, and that was a risky move for the number 2 Toyota Supra, and he was able to make a super move to keep himself in the mix. 9 laps remaining here at Daytona International Speedway. As you see one wiggle in the back of the pack, that looks to be Chad Michaels. And also in the back of the back, and here's the number Supra there. Still, Braxton in the group up front. These guys are grouped up. They are all single file for now. The 29 goes way high. No help just yet. He's going to try to side draft and get just enough speed with Cody Griffin there. As Thomas Presti almost go 3 wide, they're able to save it. And oh so close to one another. And double file 2 by 2 by 2 and then some. The 15 machine still on move. Tom Wetmore and Chad, thank you for stopping by there. 8 laps remaining. And absolutely some of the best racing in the industry. Double file out front now. And with 8 laps remaining, they go side by side for the lead once again. 3 wide almost everywhere but the front. And now 7 to go. And it is double file once again for the good majority of it. 15 car hit that front. The 05 right beside it. And a 29 in the mist on that podium, or fighting for the podium with Brad Patton. And 7 laps to go. Seems like a very, very short time until you get to the checkered flag. But here at a track like Daytona, you want to hold on until the final few hundred feet. These guys up front, they know it. You want to be there at the start-finish line, even if you're not there any other points. If you're just able to make it there, you're able to make it all the way and get that victory. As stripe to stripe, these guys have raced extremely well, and we saw the first 50 laps or so were caution-free. Only a few net-cone base incidents we saw along the way, and still on the move. 6 to go there. And with 6 remaining, this really is the moment for everyone to start pushing with one another. Big-time incident almost avoided, and looks like it will be avoided. Jacob Fife there with Justin Anderson, and everyone's able to save it. And that's what it all comes down to. When these guys get a bit antsy, they just get a bit too nervous, you will start to see moments like that, moments where they just start pushing each other, shoving each other back and forth. And a 36 machine going to experience it, and while he absolutely does get banged up just a bit, he has just enough speed to keep it on the way. And coming down to the line, once again, 6 laps remain. And the men up front, the 15 and the 05, now have a new challenger once again. The 29 seems to be up there once more. And Tarabuch keeping himself in the mist. And now your new race leader on the high side with 3 wide, 5 laps remaining. And I don't think we can get any more intense than this. 3 wide at Daytona is something that a lot of guys panic over. But a lot of guys, they love to see it. It is great racing to watch, great racing to be, and if you can handle it. And right now, every driver here has handled it quite well. Jacob Fife there, Alan Dobbs, Brad Patton, and Braxton Deweese there in the midst of it. And 3 wide now, going to be 7 deep. And it is an incredible look and an incredible display of driving from every one of these guys. It is about 21 drivers in that front pack who are all working one another. It goes down to guys like Thunderhorst, and it goes down to guys like Brandon Wendron, and it is exactly 21 guys in that main pack, and then Blake Gordon right behind him. The 36 machine in the midst of it as well. Jacob Fife, we saw him on the wall beforehand. He's still able to keep that car clean. And 4 laps remain here at Daytona. Side by side, they are at the stripe. Time after time, this could be one of them, but now Dobbs has a big advantage with Nick Tarabuch with him. Jacob Fife there as well, side by side with Cody Griffin. Dustin Anderson going to be in the midst of it. No! The leader goes around! Alan Dobbs in a sea of cars, up and over! This takes out almost everyone! It's a sea! 1 driver over, Cody Griffin, and everyone gets destroyed! We're going to overtime! And the big one at Daytona. Alan Dobbs from the race lead. And he doesn't win it. He gets caught up in the big one. And let's find out just what happened and send it back at slow-mo. You can see by that point he was already around. And it looks like Tarabuch goes down to his inside line and nothing's going to come of that. When he goes down to it, taps him on the quarter panel. That's all she wrote there. The 05 machine there. Cody Griffin in the mist, and nobody able to avoid it. Jacob Fife actually going to be a race leader now. And everyone else gets caught up. Braxton. It looks like Chad Michaels might have been caught up just a bit. Alec Davin, Dunhorst. And you can see Bernard gets into it. The 84, the 64 of Stagger going to be able to go through the grass there. The 22 of Rob Ackley, Blake Gordon, 00 there. And absolutely destruction there. And almost everyone getting involved. And as we come down to the stripe, Nick Tarabuch is going to be one of the guys who gets out of it. But I do believe Jacob Fife is going to have the edge over the remainder of the field there. And how about it? The driver of the number 36 might be the man to lead him through with 3 laps remaining. We're going into overtime, so this race will go past the scheduled distance of 100 laps. And Casey Shue there as well. And I believe at the very most we have about 3 attempts to figure this one out. And what a finish we are gearing up for. Jacob Fife, Casey Shue, DJ Stagner, and Kyle Cooper. The top 4, and 4th seems to have an awful lot of damage. And I don't think he's going to be allowed to stay up there with the lead pack unless he's able to keep it up front, and that is possible. That we will see. It all comes down to how these guys play it out. And the driver of the number 36 leads the way as everyone gets cycled back out front. Now 3 laps remaining here. It's going to get real intense, so if you enjoy the action, be sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned because next week we will bring you another great race, Rockingham, the next race on the season, and then Richmond, and we will get ourselves into motion from there. Fife down to the inside line. It looks like he might just be saving some fuel there on a 30-lap stint already. And now with the overtime, I don't believe they will make it all the way. Good majority of the field went down on pit road. Brad Patton going to be the winner off pit road. But Fife's holding out. And I think he's going to try to keep it on the track all the way. And that is going to be a tough ask for any driver. But Jacob Fife is holding on to keep himself in the mist. And his strategy is perfect besides the fuel situation. 30 laps on one stint. That's intense. And that is especially aggressive. Very few are going to be able to attempt that. It looks like Jacob Fife is one of those guys. 1 lap to green, and a 36 leads him. And with Fife out in front, Casey Shue in second. You can see that Fife is worried about the way that car is going. 31 laps on one stint is the longest that anyone's been able to push it. Now it looks like Kyle Cooper is also in that mix as well. And they are all trying to make something happen that we have not seen just yet. Jacob Fife, Casey Shue, DJ Stagner. He's actually going to be on a 30-lap stint. Fife going to be one of the men at the biggest disadvantage, and this is a risk I'm not sure if it's going to be worth taking. Caution laps will make it possible to get down to the stripe, and we will see if this is worth making it happen. Triple P sponsoring the number 36 machine and 213 Simware on Casey Shue's car, and it is Chevy on what was a Chevy in the 4 machine out front as well. And Casey Shue, despite all of the damage, is out in front. 1 lap to green, and this will send us into a 2-lap overtime, lap 102, to settle it out. And this is a definitive run to the stripe. And the next flag, if we get to the white, will end it. The 36, the 4, and the 73, alongside DJ Stagner, the pace car is in. Jacob Fife leads them through. We are green. This is overtime number 1. And Fife gets a great start. 63 machine not out there, but it is the 36 holding the torch as the 64 goes up to the high side. Now it looks like Alec Daffin has a shot as the 48 machine makes himself home. And Daffin in the Shaw Racing 48 making his way up front. One up high is Blake Gordon. And caution's out already. That's going to be our second overtime finish. And trying to find out what caused it. And not sure what's going on there, as the caution flag comes out. And putting it simply, we don't see anything that could have caused it. And we will get a better look at it. We have not missed a caution all race long, so I'm really not sure. And we will send it back to a drone camera and find out just what happened. The blimp camera not going to give us any help right there. Either way, sending it back to the middle of the pack and seeing what we can catch. As only 20-odd drivers in the remainder of this race, we look through and it looks like maybe some guys got slowed down here, although we do not see all too much that could have led to that caution there. We check the back of the field there. Oh, it looks like the 3 machine might have gone around. And that is Cody Griffin. And we saw him right on the back of the screen went around there. And Cody Griffin absolutely got involved with something there. And only for a quick moment we saw him. And it's going to be a blip. But it looks like Griffin was definitely involved in something there. And it looked like a single car incident on our end. And that is probably wrong, because he definitely has some contact marks from guys who spawned right in. And I think he got turned there. iRacing will show you, but he definitely got turned. That is not an incident that happens with a spark marks at all like that. Definitely got turned there. Cody Griffin involved with something there. Not giving us a great read, as I think Alec Daffin is the race leader. That looks to be incorrect. It is DJ Stagner leading the way as we head back. And I think this time by, that ruins the plan for Jacob Fife and the like. DJ Stagner still trying to stay out front. They come down to pit road once again. And the 36 there with the 4, and everyone comes down once more. Stagner still trying to stay out front. And he's got Brad Patton behind him, Matthew Thunhorst, Rob Ackley. And while a good majority of the field does stay out, a few guys with a master plan had to come down in. And that changes up a whole lot when it comes to strategy. 2 laps to green this time through. And Stagner now having the opportunity to be in the first position on a 33-lap load stint. I'm not sure if he's even going to be able to make it through the caution laps now. That is a big risk. And if he takes it, he could find himself running out of fuel before we get to the checkered flag. That is unbelievable. You're going to see someone try to risk it all the way. That is an intense risk. And very few drivers, I don't think, would take it. Brad Patton, Matthew Thunhorst, Rob Ackley, Brandon Bernhardt, Boomer Logan. Boomer Logan's up to 6 now. And the driver of the 94 has made himself home up front. And he has a mostly clean car. A lot of these guys do not have clean cars as we send this to our 105th lap, which should be a total of 106 at the tail end of it. But Logan has a decently clean car. Don Stevenson behind him. Blake Gordon in the 8th spot. Timothy Johnson is in 9th. Cal Falarski in 10th. And Trevor Trago is in 11th. DJ Stagner holds him on. So 3 remaining at Daytona. We'll see whether or not he pits this time by. He could go a total of 37 at most laps on one stint. And that is unbelievable. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. But he's not coming down pit road. And he's defiant. DJ Stagner going to lead him home if he's able to hold on for just 2 green flag laps, 1 lap to green. And that's something you don't expect out of a driver. That is a risky spot to be in. And it looks like we got one coming out of pit road. That is going to be Braxton. The 15 machine certainly is in trouble. It's the 64 there with Brad Patton, Matthew Thunhorst, Rob Ackley, Brandon Bernhardt, Boomer Logan, Don Stevenson, and Blake Gordon. And Stagner holding on out in front, the 64. Might just have a chance to go all the way on fuel. And I don't think we've seen anything like it. He's going to go almost 40 laps. And he's going to be closer to 40 than 30 laps at the tail end of his stint. I tell you what, 36 laps he has to go on this stint to win this race. And I'm not even sure with this little amount of fuel, he has the intention to win the race. That's unbelievable. Stagner, Patton, Thunhorst, Rob Ackley, and Brandon Bernhardt with Boomer Logan there as well. And double file they are once again. We could see another overtime finish. The shot of that's pretty unlikely. However, it's always possible. And it ain't over till it's over. That's the way it is in any sport. Motorsport or not, it's here. It's now. And the 64 on a 34-lap old stint. Here to hold the field off. And this could be success. It could be failure. And it could be the most exciting finish we've seen at Daytona in quite a while. Pace cars in once again. DJ Stagner, inside line. And it's Patton on the outside. Green flag is out once again. 2 laps to go. And the second overtime starts with a big run from Stagner. And a major jump. Thunhorst and Patton will get great draft now. And the 64 has a major run by himself. And a great advantage to get that start and might be able to help him on the fuel game. Not sure how close he is, and if he's that close, it's going to be real dangerous to hold on. No caution out just yet. 3 wide, Brad Patton getting swallowed up. Rob Ackley on the high side there. He's got Boomer Logan with him. And TJ Stagner in the mix. And as these guys hold on, this could be it. The run down to the strike this time by. If they get to it, the next flag will be the conclusion of this race. Yellow or checkers. And coming down the line, 1 lap to go. We will make it. This is the final lap here at Daytona. And one of the already, that's Cal Falarski. Guys getting in the back. They're already getting involved with one another. And it looks like it's going to go down to about 5 drivers here. You can see the number 2 machine, Brad Patton, still holding on. And now it looks like we're coming down to these guys. Boomer Logan, Rob Ackley, and Ackley's out front. Logan been holding on to the back end of that 22 machine for a long time. Stagner's peeling out. He looks to be out of fuel. And he absolutely is. Running out big time. Stagner's done. The gamble doesn't pay off. Rob Ackley still with Boomer Logan here. And it is do or die for the man of the 22. Logan's still there. Coming down to the front straightaway. The 22 blocking the inside. Nobody's going for it. A turn, and Boomer Logan won't get it. Rob Ackley wins the Big Evil Designs Daytona 250. And he got that one on a platter. Rob Ackley wins at Daytona. And he gets it done by just managing the inside line. And Brad Patton turning Boomer Logan at the tail end of it. And Logan falls down quite a long run of the totem there. And oh so close to position number 2. I don't think there was any chance coming down front straightaway. Nobody made a move. Logan played nice, and it didn't work out. Boomer falls down to 13th. And now Ackley burns it down. And the first burnout of the season, Rob Ackley had to earn it. What a run for the 22. Thomas Bretzi coming right into the grass as well. Backing it down, Rob Ackley gets the spin, and he gets the win. The number 22 machine of Rob Ackley, race winner here at Daytona, and he gets it done in style. The 22 machine, position number 1 for the first race of the season, winner of the Big Evil Designs Daytona 250. How do you feel after that one?
Yeah, I don't even really know what to say. I was in 3 wrecks throughout the night, and I could barely keep up with the draft half the time, but I got to thank Boomer Logan for pushing me there at the end. Without that, I would have never had a shot.
And absolutely, patience was key at the tail end of that one. You had some front-end damage for the majority of the race, so how was it managing to hold on the draft, especially at the tail end?
I was doing all I could. We had to save gas. I don't even really know what to say. I thought I was done 25, 30 laps into the race. I'm in complete shock right now. Somehow we pulled it off. Just great teammates and a little bit of luck at the end, I guess.
And certainly the teamwork with Boomer Logan getting you up front at the tail end of that final restart. How was it? 2, of course, overtime attempts. And how was it keeping yourself up front? Because certainly we saw almost everyone wrecked at the tail end.
Like I said, once we got clear, I told Boomer just to get down to the bottom and kind of hope we could defend it from there. I wasn't even sure I had enough gas to make it to the end, but somehow we had just enough and we got there.
Unbelievably, fuel very, very close tonight. So how did strategy impact your eventual start in the final few segments? Because everyone was managing fuel in different ways.
Oh, for probably the 20 laps of that last run, I was only going about half throttle, just trying to make sure we had enough. And then eventually I was kind of at the tail end of the field. I knew I had to do something. And I don't know, just worked our way through there methodically, I guess.
And certainly a methodical work through the 22 machine out in front, winning the first points-paying race of the season. Now, Daytona, we've gone to it for back-to-back weeks, of course, for the Clash and for this event. Next race, whenever it's happening, I believe it will, of course, be next week, but Rockingham, next one up. How do you feel going to that one after 2 straight weeks of super speedways?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting off these plate tracks, but Rockingham definitely isn't a strong track for me, so might have to put in a little bit of practice this week and see what we can bring.
And certainly going to be a different environment, but a lot of momentum on your side going into the remainder of the season. Any final thoughts after this incredible victory?
I just got to thank all the teammates at Domination Intimidation Racing tonight. We all worked great together, and like I say, Boomer at the end, I owe this win to him 100%.
There we have it. Rob Ackley, what a victory, winning the first race of the season. 107 laps, and you got it done in position number 1. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Gonna drag it right back into the voice shaft there. How about for the second position driver of Brad Patton, able to hold on for position number 2 at the tail end of that one. And we are going to try to find a copy from the driver of the number 2 machine, and he comes home in position number 2. We're going to scroll him all the way down and try to get a word from the driver who finished in second. Patton able to make it happen, and he had to fight for that one. That's for certain. Boomer Logan in front of him with about 100 feet to go. And all was for naught for the 94 machine, but Brad able to make it home in second. Position number 2, car number 2. How do you feel after tonight's event?
Mixed emotions, but overall, pretty good finish.
And certainly a great finish for you, not without the chaos there at the tail end. And how was it managing those final 2 laps?
I thought for sure Rob was about to push me there on that restart, the final one that we had. And then once I seen him go wide, I was like, well, I'm going to be in the sucker hole. So I was just trying to get down as fast as I could. And then I was just trying to push the 4 cars on the bottom there to hopefully we could have a 2-on-2 there at the end. But I accidentally somebody a little bit too hard, and then I was in P3 there, and I thought for sure the second place car was going to go up high and try to pass Rob. And then once he made like that little move there, I decided that I wanted to fill the hole. And once I did that, all hell broke loose. So I apologized to him. I wasn't trying to wreck anybody or do anything like that. I was just trying to get a top 3 finish and be happy about it.
And still able to get that top 3 finish at the end of the day. And it looks like 7 laps stand at the tail end for you. So how was it managing for you? Because it looks like a few guys just touched up. A few guys tried to go all the way there. So how was your strategy coming down to the final restart?
We had a few guys that we were talking with. We had a couple that were going to stay out and try to play the risk game on it. I went in and I took way too much fuel. I took like a half a tank. And I knew I was good to the end there. But yeah, it was really weird to have a fuel saving at Daytona there at the end. I wasn't ready for it at all. I think I was like a half a lap short if we would have went green the whole way.
And how about it? Strategy falling in your favor to keep this one out in front. And 107 laps, so it was much further than the scheduled distance. Now, next week going to be in Rockingham, so a totally different change of pace. And it's going to be a much different way of driving, and certainly a much different track. So how's it going to be going there?
It's my favorite racetrack on this sim, so hopefully I'll get another top 3 finish, maybe pull out a win. We'll see, though. We got some heavy hitters in this league, it looks like, and yeah, we'll just go with the same strategy I always do and just try to dominate the race every time I go to Rockingham.
And absolutely almost getting it done tonight without domination. A lot of guys switching back and forth tonight and still coming home in second. Any final thoughts?
No, I appreciate you guys for broadcasting this. Thanks for integrity and just friends and family watching the race. Hope everybody liked the show.
And what a great show it was. Brad Patton coming home in the second position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We drag him right back into the voice chat there, and we will get your third position driver. And that third position driver, the 48 machine of Blake Gordon, able to round out your podium for tonight's event. And what a race he was able to put together. We talked to him earlier in the race, but still able to make it up to the podium. And we're watching the final few lap replay right now. You were not close to that top 3 like those guys were up front. You had to charge for it in that final segment. So how was it making it through the field?
I got really lucky. The C's just happened to part for me the right way there on the last lap. Came home third. Don't really understand how or why, but sometimes it just pays to be lucky, I guess. And that was the position I was in at the end there.
And absolutely looks like there was something we didn't really go over immediately as we watched this one. But you came home in a really lucky spot, able to make it through all of those incidents. And how was it? Because, of course, the final 2 laps of a race at Daytona, always the most intense. What was your thought process going through it?
So after you guys interviewed me around halfway when I was leading, I picked up some damage when the 45 lost an engine out front. So that made like the last half of the race really frustrating. I felt like I had a parachute. I had to be sandwiched between 2 cars to really be able to go anywhere. And then some guys, I guess, played it with a gamble on gas, pit. So I found myself up there in the top 8 for like the last 2 restarts. And I mean, it was just I try to survive, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Daytona doesn't really come down to skill all that often. It's all luck.
And a lot of luck in your favor. And it looks like fuel strategy actually came into part tonight. So a lot of guys mentioned that was a little surprising. How was that for you, managing your way up front?
When I was up front with the 76, Justin Anderson, we were pedaling it a little bit, keeping an eye on fuel. I think we were going to be a lap to the good. If we had any green-white checkers, we were for sure going to have to top off. But you know, when we were sitting there trying to save a little bit, running like 75% gas, we were getting passed by everyone. So I fell way to the back. We were both getting frustrated and thankfully got a couple of cautions there to kind of reset the fuel. And again, just right place, right time, I guess. Happy to come home third.
And absolutely coming home third. A lot of momentum going to Rockingham, the next race of the season. How will it be going there?
Pretty good. I like Rockingham. The shorter the track, the better. Rockingham is kind of down there in the fun category of things for me. So hopefully I have better luck than last time I ran there. Made it 12 laps. So looking to make it a little bit further this time around, but should be a good time.
And looking for a good time after a great run, Blake Gordon, third position tonight. Thank you for your time.
And thank you for your guys' time as well. Broadcast was awesome. Thanks to all the admins at Integrity, and we'll see you next week.
And great to hear. Blake Gordon, once again, the 48 machine, coming home in third. And we're going to drag him right back in as we speak and try to get him right back where you are. All right, good to see you. There we go. And that is your final driver in the podium placement. And the driver of the 48 able to cap it all off. And how about that for Blake Gordon, the 48 machine? But how about that for the man who won this race in Rob Ackley? And he had that thing locked up in that final restart. And he had it all locked up well. I'm going to thank every single person who came into the chat tonight. It means the world to have all the support going throughout the entirety of this race. Always better with the fans, and love to hear what you have to say no matter what. It really does just make the stream so much better in my opinion. Being able to have that feedback, have that fan support. These guys know they got a lot of fans watching them, and it's great to see all the support. These guys are real people too. You got to remember that. And it's always great to see getting up on here, YouTube, not the TVs, but sometimes you can put them on TV. So feels a lot more like being in the real thing for a lot of these guys, and they put on a great show like it is the real thing. Rob Ackley wins from a 1/10 of a second over Brad Patton, Blake Gordon in third, Don Stevenson in fourth, and Shane Ewing in fifth, with Brendan Bernhardt in position number 6. Poster Timothy Johnston finished in 7th, with Michael Stroll in 8th, Forrest Smith 9th, and Kevin McGarsey in 10th. Then Matthew Thornhorst in 11th, and Trevor Trago in 12th, Boomer Logan in 13th, and Jonathan Girvin in 14th, Kevin Matz 15th, and Don Runkle in position number 16. Jacob Fife 17th, Tyler Hensley in 18th, and Gale Brooks in 19th, Alan Dobbs, position number 20, Casey Shue in 21st, Cal Falarski, Chad Mikos, and Cody Smith with Alec Davin, Cody Griffin, Chad Cole, Kyle Cooper, DJ Stagner, and Brendan Wedgard as 20th through 30th. And from there on out, Justin Anderson, Justin Carey, Justin Morton, Thomas Bressy, final driver on the lead lap. With then, from there on out, your retirees as follows: Nick Tarabush, Braxton DeWeese, Nicholas Kuhan, Aiden Pastorius, Justin Rowden, Joe Dinsmore, 48th position, and then Daniel Foss, Adam Wood, Carl Henderson, and 2 drivers did not qualify. Ethan Lane winning the sort of qualifier event to get through. 44th and 45th not listed as entries in the main event. What a race that was. A great show by every one of these drivers. I truly do hope enjoyed this race. What a great one. Rob Ackley wins the season opener of the Big Evil Designs Daytona 250, and he put on a show to get it done. I hope to see you all whenever we are live. We will be live tomorrow with a special event at Lakeland, Florida. A quick inter-league event, inter-series event for the Integrity Racing League, and we hope you are able to watch that one. It will be a great one to tune into. We'll be live at the same time, 8:50 Eastern on a Tuesday night as well. And a lot of streams packing this series up, packing this week up, and it will be a great one to tune into. So thank you all for the support so far this week. And we're going to have a lot more going on as things go on live on FTN. We're looking forward to a great month and a great year. Thank you all for stopping by. If this is your first race here or you're a returning viewer, be sure to like and subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. We hope to see you all whenever we are live on FTN. Thank you for your time.